Okay, so as I said, you guys are scientists. You are currently in deep sleep. And as you wake up, you see flashing red lights. You see ice on the canopy of the pod that you're in, and then a heads-up display pops up. And you get some text from the industry or company that you work with that pops up on the screen, scrolls through, and in your haze, you're trying to understand what it says and so forth while you're starting to realize that the machines that you're in have started to shut down. Mm-hmm. Outside, you can see a couple other crew members start to wander or start to get out of their pods. Take one of these, pass them around.
I wouldn't have to wait a minute if you would listen to me.
At the bottom of the heads-up display, there's a little green button that says, "Do you accept these terms?"
Fantastic.
We got to scroll all the way through.
Yes.
In 800 pages of
Okay.
licensing agreement.
Now, the basic premise here, as you guys remember, you were dispatched on a space vehicle known as the Trifina, which is a deep space exploration vessel. Okay. The contract with the company was effectively your family and the next couple of generations would be taken care of financially because you would be out in deep space longer than they would be alive. Okay? This is a deep space mission type thing.
It becomes our property.
Yeah, that's what I just read.
It's our property.
That's funny, we got the same thing. That was the same reaction. What the fuck?
Like, we've all read this exact thing. Like, I feel like this is the. Did you get this directly from the Apple store?
Nope.
Page 640 is going to say something about the human centipede.
Yep. Okay, you accept the terms?
Yeah.
Okay. As soon as you do, the pod starts opening up.
Okay.
You're free to keep that.
Yeah.
Okay. I can make notes on that.
Yep, that's yours to make reference and so forth. Now, assuming all of you accept the terms of your employment, I'm assuming nobody I assume nobody. No, yeah, otherwise you're staying in the pod and it's getting kind of stale.
You're fired and dead.
You're fired. Your severance is included. Okay. As you guys get out, you are with, I believe it was 16 total crew, all currently in your skivvies at this point. You step out on the freezing cold deck plates of the cryopod room where everything is set, and start to filter through your foggy memories. You don't have much other than what little I have here. Each one has your name on it, so grab the one for your character, and you can read through.
Ignore my husband.
I'm sorry, what was that? Because I know how to do everything.
Is he already telling you to do stuff?
Dude, we had the cooler. I have ice in the cooler retreats. I had it sitting right here. She's like, I'm going to go put him in the fridge. I'm like, no. It'll be right here. Women.
Yeah.
I didn't know you become that person who have his cooler over here sitting next to him.
So which one of us is the replicant? That's my own goal for tonight, is to find out who the android
What's
is.
the game code where one of them is murder or whatever on the werewolf? No, the space one. Among something.
Among Us,
Among
yeah.
Us, yeah.
I'm gonna go fix the toilet.
I saw a dead body in the bathroom all the time.
This is the fourth
Yes.
dead body you found. This is odd.
Okay. So you know your name, you know a little bit about your background. That's the information you have. Like I said, there are a bunch of other people standing around. They're all looking similarly confused and trying to figure out, okay, who's in charge? What are we doing?
Well, I'm obviously in charge. We should find some clothes.
Okay. Well, there's a series of lockers right next to you. Each of them have your names. On your skivvies, it's embroidered with your names as well, so you know who those are. Lights start to flash for a moment.
There you go. You fixed it.
Okay. Here you guys are. Now, you can hear in the background the rumble of the ship's engines. And you feel light, if that makes sense. The artificial gravity of the ship, there seems to be some deceleration going on, which adjusts the weight in the crew area. Okay.
Is there an access terminal, like a status terminal?
Sure. There's terminals all over.
All right, I'll go over to one.
Okay.
And
it has a little blinking red light on it. There's a light. There's a light above you, circling, flashing red lights as well.
Okay, I'll walk over and start opening up a status for the ship, find out what's going on.
Okay. It's looking for command authorization.
I put in my command
Access
authorization.
denied.
Is there anything other than my clothes in my locker?
No.
No guns.
No guns. Pull a gun. First thing you need on a spaceship.
Pulls the gun and shoots everyone. Session over.
The only thing you get from the screen is that the year is currently 2051.
Okay.
You vaguely remember it was 2041 when you left home. And it is coincidentally December 9th.
Odd.
Yes.
Is it normal in this universe to be asleep for 10 years on a ship?
You're one of the first missions.
Oh.
That's why they're taking care of your family and your family's family.
And we don't remember what the mission status was? Or
Cryosleep is new.
No, fair enough.
Sleep amnesia is not unheard of.
But we remember this kind of stuff.
You remember that because it's like long-term memory type things.
So I remember that I'm in charge of like the science division on the ship.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and your skills and everything, those are like ingrained in your concept, but your short-term memory is affected as far as, okay, what's going on? Why are we here? What are we doing?
Okay. I'm going to walk over and check my locker.
Who the suspect is, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go over and attempt to shut the light off.
Okay. You log into the terminal. It takes your command codes fairly easily. There's in your locker is a ID card for everybody as well, or everybody has their own ID card in their locker. And with that card, you swipe it, it registers for you. The alarms go off, indicates that the ship is currently in pre-programmed deceleration. And Angel, the AI for the system, for the ship, is requesting your presence on the command deck.
Alrighty. And can I bring up a map of
Sure.
how to get to the command deck?
You can
I
bring.
honestly don't remember.
You do not remember how to do that. That was one of the details that you do not remember currently.
Well, do we get to see that he's in the system working on it now?
Yeah, he's visible. I'm
Well, I'm command engineer. That's why I was curious as to why I was locked on a
Because I'm
fucking
the
system.
captain.
Because he's the captain.
Who?
I'm the
He's the
captain.
captain.
I'm in charge.
Understand that.
Command engineer starts beating up on people.
He has a gun in his locker.
Okay, there's an overview of the ship.
Oh, it's gone.
That was quick.
That's all you get.
And I sneezed and forgot.
Okay, let's try that again. Let's see. Okay, well,
We are.
No, space shuttle's attached. That's cool.
Where's the little red arrow that says you are here?
You are currently in the first of the two donut rings that circle around the main central shaft of the building. Let me see if I can. Let me turn off that app because that's going to be more discouraging. Okay, so this is that one. Okay, that'll reload the game for everybody.
I can't read your other one. What's the other one on the right? It says something special. Nice. I'm like,
become special.
Save configuration.
Embrace the suck.
What's that?
Save config.
Yeah.
For player
Yeah.
avatar.
Embrace the sun,
Okay.
corporate logo.
So let me
Yeah.
turn back on the.
That's part of whatever the company is, right?
Um,
I'm short in Spanish.
What?
I'm short in Spanish.
You're short in Spanish. Yeah, my guy's pretty short too. Apparently deceleration is really screwing
guess.
our seeks.
Well,
Okay.
5'4" gravity's really hit me hard.
Oh, good lord.
I'm guessing. I'm just making it up. I don't even know how tall I am.
How about good lord? Good
Napoleon syndrome.
I do. When I'm poking you in the chest, I'm reaching up to do it.
Okay,
How dare you?
let's see if that stays on now.
It's on there for now.
Yeah.
I was taller than every one of my commanders except for one. And I had 3 or 4 female commanders throughout my career, and they were all short, dumpy chicks, and they would yell at you, and you're just sitting there like, okay. She's like this tall. And,
There we go. Yeah.
So the one.
no, you're not passing the PT test.
Let's see, 8 or 7? 8. I'm guessing.
Do you need to read something?
So
Aaron?
you guys are
Which ring we're in?
you're in the ring closest to where the shuttles are listed are shown.
Gotcha.
The command deck is that little circular piece above where the shuttle intersection docking ring is.
Okay.
Okay. The engine is the opposite way, as is the labs and storage.
All right.
I'll walk over to him.
Okay.
Hey, Captain.
Yep.
Can you unlock my command codes for the engineering side of the house, at least?
Let me see his ID badge. yeah. Make sure he is.
Okay. Yeah. You activate crew functions for everybody.
Do we not know each other at all?
You have a vague recollection for everybody.
Okay. Okay.
So the deceleration is causing the gravity issue.
Yeah, the everybody feels a little bit light. Basically, where you guys are at on this deck is part of a circular area
Yeah.
that normally rotates around that center. That provides the artificial gravity, but because the ship is decelerating, you have a pull to one side that's making you feel a little bit off. Okay, you can feel the deceleration because the engines are firing and it's actively decelerating.
Are one of you guys a coke addict? No?
A coke addict?
Are you coke addict?
Is that what you said?
No, coke addict?
We'd all be alive.
Come on, there's better
He has freeze sleep slurring also.
Yeah. That's right. Very, she very good. Stop hugging me.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, and there's the other one is Rudolph. Rudolph Schramm is the command pilot. He steps up when you ask for a co-pilot or a co-captain. He'd be the next in line, taking over for Elisa. We heading to the bridge, sir?
Yeah, we're heading to the bridge.
Okay.
We need to go figure out why we're decelerating.
Okay. He leads the way. He seems a little bit more sure of where you're going. Yeah, maybe.
His name's Rudolph.
I'll follow him.
Okay.
That's bright red nose.
So, and you are.
Jose Tamayo.
Yeah, I know you.
Ernst.
Ernst.
Ernst Jan.
Ernst Jan. Okay, Ernst. The rest of you, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna follow the captain.
Okay. And you are Lopez? No.
Is like the whole crew following the captain at this point?
No, most of them are scientists that don't know the first thing about ship captaining or piloting or anything like that.
Okay.
They're sort of milling about trying to figure. They're some of them are looking at you. Some of them I think are. Who is the?
I'm the command engineer.
You are the. You're Jan. You're the command engineer. So the chief science specialist is Johann Bruno.
Okay.
That's me.
Oh, okay, that's you. You sure? I thought you were the engineer. Swap them.
Oh.
He had wanted to be the engineer. You wanted to be the chief scientist.
I know, I just
That's
grabbed
what I
it.
thought.
That's why
I
your
just
command.
I just grabbed the sheet.
That's why your
That's
command
not my
access didn't work.
thing. Yeah.
Because you're the scientist. You don't need to know how the engineering
I
is.
don't even know who you are.
I know. That's why
They
they're
said that you
obvious.
got 70 left.
They're obviously very confused.
No.
Yeah, swap your luck to where your proper character. So, anyways,
What's my luck on that?
40.
Okay.
most of the rest of them are all sort of looking at you, trying to figure out what they're supposed to do. They seem completely lost.
Confused with what I'm doing.
Now he's very confused.
Cryo
Cryosleep messes with your mind, man.
Just like swap by.
You thought you were a scientist. He thought he was an engineer. And
Where's the biologist?
10 years of freezing, and all you want to do is knit.
Does the ship have a science section?
Yes.
Okay.
Lower decks, below this is the science section. There's those those large square sections are the science labs.
Nerds go to the basement.
That's right.
Wait, aren't we all sitting in a basement currently?
Yes.
Okay. Well, no, you guys are sort of in the center of the ship. So, anyways, the four of you head up. The path to the center takes you over to here, where there is if that map can go away, George.
I don't go with him, by the way.
Okay.
I start gathering up all.
Yeah, you start gathering scientists and everything. So those of you that are heading to the bridge, right here is a ladder that leads up to the roof of this level. And then from there, it goes through a zero-gravity tunnel towards the center shaft, where you then turn and float up several levels past the docking ring where the single shuttle is, and then into the command center. Okay?
So I'll be going with them.
So there is only one shuttle?
Yeah, the Trifina was equipped with a single shuttle. Okay. After a bit, you guys get to here, and I don't know if you can rotate or move to where that is now. I don't think I can shift you.
Oh, we got teleported.
You did. You guys are here.
Here.
Scroll out.
It's kind of like a big.
Okay, so the map represents all the different levels of the ship. Not necessarily in the most intuitive format, but it lays it out for all the different areas and so forth. So if you're looking at this,
Oh, here we are.
basically the two big pluses are the intersections from the rings that go towards the center. Okay? The sections on the far right over here, those large areas are the labs on the top right.
Okay.
The rectangles directly to the south of those are the cargo bays, which are the squares nearest the engines. Okay, along with these sections, which are larger cargo type stuff. Okay, top left are 3 levels that includes the engine, including the nuclear core that runs the main thrusters itself. Okay. And then there's a couple of other access hallways based on where you guys are at. There's 2 main crew levels, and the Trifina is sort of a prototype. It's designed for deep space exploration and colonization, really. So it has way more rooms than your crew would ever need, because the design is intended for a large-scale group going out into the darkness. But you guys are one of the first ships going out instead. Okay. It doesn't have the supplies for an extended journey, which is why they have the cryopods. As long as you're asleep, you're using a bare minimum of resources, but when you're awake, assuming things are fairly normal, there's plenty of food and supplies and so forth. Okay. So takes maybe 20 minutes or so to get up to the command deck. When you get up there, Rudolph takes one of the seats. The other one is for Eliza. The ship is currently active. All the systems are operational. Gravity is, or the spin is activated and everything. Basically, the ship seems like it's fully active and going. Although no real intent or expectation. According to the sensors, there's a single massive object in front of you that the ship seems to be slowing down as it approaches. Appears to be something like a small planet. Okay. From the records, it appears you are a couple of years out of the solar system, there's nothing else in the area. You're not in the next solar system. You're not in the next galaxy, anything like that. This is all sublight travel. There's no super science here or anything. So presumably the basic mission plan, as you recall, was you got in, you went to sleep. A couple of years later, you were going to leave the solar system and then head out into deep space. And at some point, the ship was going to wake you up when you're getting to a habitable place. At this point, there's a single planetoid ahead of you, just floating in deep space, that the ship is currently decelerating towards.
So, do we just speak to the AI?
You can.
Okay.
Has a gruff masculine voice,
Oh, great.
even though it's called Angel.
It's Lobo. Great. Angel, as the planetoid in front of us able to sustain our human trait?
Unknown. Sensors don't reach that far. Per pre-programmed path, I've started the deceleration process.
Does it have any type of exceptional gravitational pull that we should be worried about?
No.
No. Okay.
Appears to have about 0.7 gravity of Earth.
Sweet, I'll be lighter.
Yes.
Those tacos, won't be a problem. Okay.
10 years ago?
No, nobody saw inside my container.
Yes,
Taco Bell wrappers
they've been
everywhere.
percolating for 10 years.
Yeah, bubble guts. Where's the bathroom? 20 minutes the other way.
See, normally the scientists say just drink water before you go into cryo sleep.
Yeah.
You opted to buck that trend and eat tacos. Fermented taco insides.
For day guts. So,
That's what all mission's about.
That almost calls for a sanity check.
for everybody else.
Yes.
It's discovering the effects of deep space. Someone just throws up taco after cryo sleep.
Does it float around? It does. So, is there a secondary system for to make the gravity normal while we decelerate?
No.
Can we increase the turn of the?
That would increase the gravity pulling down, but not affect you going forward. It's not uncomfortable. It's something that you're trained to. You get used to it and everything. But it's more the sensation of you feel. It's like you're in a car and you feel the car is slowing down.
Oh, gotcha.
When you're in the back seat and you're asleep, you feel that you wake up
Gotcha.
because it feels unusual. But it's not.
It's not making us clumsy.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't really affect you beyond that.
So the ship doesn't have artificial gravity.
Correct.
Okay. The habitation rays use centrifugal
Yes.
gravity? Okay.
Yes.
So let's put the ship into orbital circumference.
Orbital circumference orbited.
As far as anybody knows how to get
Just blame the sleep sickness.
That's right. Orbital side jumping.
What exactly did you do before?
Ate tacos and was short.
Here's the taco delivery.
I'm a veteran of 45 interplanetary missions.
You just think he was the captain.
A lot of my resume.
Capitan.
You see, he found the captain's suit and then put it on. It's like,
Oh man. Okay. So yeah, the computer reports that it's already on a pre-programmed flight trajectory right now. It's scheduled. It's estimated it'll be in orbit in about 2 hours, as it approaches the site.
And how soon before our sensors can pick up what the surface is? If it's,
Probably about 90 minutes
okay.
before the ship's within range to be able to start scanning the surface.
Okay. I'm gonna look through the ship's logs and see if anything fancy happened while we were sleeping.
Okay. You start scanning through a couple of years worth of records and information, seeing if anything of note comes up. Meanwhile, you're here if you wanted to do anything. You gathered up all the scientists. They seem ready to do some sciencey stuff. They're all very curious why they got awoken. What's going on? What's the captain saying, man?
Captain will let us know once he figures it out.
Functional.
A couple of them expressed some concern about the captain's skills.
In space, toilets go counterclockwise.
I'll just tell them.
Okay.
They'll know when they're ready to know.
Okay. They start.
Get cleaned up.
Yeah, they start spreading out. Get cleaned up. Get dressed. I don't know if you guys ever got dressed.
Captain underwear. Captain underwear up there. Captain underpants.
I definitely should be in charge.
It sounds like it.
Do we have communication devices
Yes.
on us specifically?
No. In your regular clothing, yeah. You can use the computer system if you want. No, there's no Star Trek things like that. If you want to communicate, you can certainly use any of the ship systems.
There's a tube we just yell in.
Absolutely would be though.
It has one of those plastic things you put in an air tube and it sends it down.
And a little bell that jingles.
High tech. Okay.
Right next to the nuclear reactors is a brass bell.
Anyways,
Oh, I'm just picturing it. It's so retarded.
the secondary engineers, Arjun and Choi.
Sorry.
Okay,
Your comm badge rings.
that's right. Somebody receives a transmission from Earth. Arjun and Choi are standing around with all the scientists still. They say, I guess we're going to go check the engine, see if everything's okay. And they wander off, the two of them.
They're engineers, right? They're not
Yeah, they're
scientists.
the secondary engineers.
Okay.
Okay. The rest of them, there is astrobotany, astronomy, biology, exobiology.
I'm
Exobiology.
gonna write down, but he's going too fast.
That's okay. Two meteorologists and two physics.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go to the labs. See what we're working with, guys.
Human.
Okay.
She's human biology.
Yeah, she's the closest the ship has to a medic. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Are you part of the sciences class?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah, there's astrophysics and then human biology.
All right, let's go check out the labs. See what we got working for
So-
us.
In the command area, is there a panel to check like the systems of the ship?
It will give you ship status,
Okay.
but won't if you have to do anything with the engine or engineering and so forth. It just a status light type stuff. The pilots will obviously control speed, direction, and that sort of thing, but most of the time, engineering you'd have to be down at the engine to really be interacting with it. Okay, but keep in mind this is a massive ship that's highly automated. You don't really need to be there unless there's something going wrong. Okay, and from everything you've seen, the ship looks as fresh as it was when you guys first launched.
Okay.
Okay, there's no sign of damage or wear or anything like that on it. It looks completely new. You start scanning through the logs, and over the course of most of the 90 minutes or so, basically the logs are pretty boring. Give me a navigation roll.
Can you navigate database?
So we add ours to it.
No, you subtract. You have to get less than navigate.
So I did not get less than navigate.
Okay. So yeah,
Oh wait, no,
Having
sorry,
to do
wrong one.
whatever. Yeah.
I got,
You have a navigate skill, the large number next to navigate,
Yeah.
or the base if you don't have any
I don't
navigate
have
skill.
anything.
Okay, and then you roll percentile. You're trying to get less than that number. If you get less than half or less than a quarter, that's relevant. Let me know.
If you don't have the number, you don't.
You use the base. Whatever the base for navigate is 10.
Okay.
I got half exactly.
Half exactly. Okay. The thing that strikes you as odd is your mission was supposed to be just a head out from Earth and just keep going. It looks like in the logs, about a year into the mission, the ship received updated information and altered its trajectory along a different path.
Does it look like it was going directly to this planet?
It hasn't varied since that point.
does it say where those commands came from? Came from Earth?
It came from the industry, yeah, from the company.
We know what the company name is.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Wayland
It's right
Yutani.
there, yeah. With Cryosleep, sorry. Mess with your head.
That's right. It makes you forget things.
Yeah.
It's Galilee.
I looked for it earlier and I couldn't find it, and then once I asked, I saw it right there.
I mean, it's in big text right at the top of it too.
Oh.
Is that 40 points?
Wait, so you skipped over that and saw the fine print?
He read it in the text. Skipped right over that title line. He's the engineer. He's all about the details.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Just makes no sense.
Okay. About 90 minutes or so in, the ship starts to be able to get some information from the planet. The planet itself, it pops up a survey of the planet. Okay, as soon as I can locate that.
While that's going on, you're down there warming up all the science labs.
Yeah, all the science labs are all carefully packaged away for travel and so forth. I mean, there's dozens of supplies, everything you could ever use for each of the various sciences. It's all, like I said, sealed up, packaged, and so forth. It hasn't been touched since original launch. Right. I mean, and there's plenty more in the cargo pods as far as supplies. I mean, you guys are literally outfitted for a many-year type expedition with whatever sciencey stuff you would end up having to do.
Is there a specific quarantine area, or is that just something we should choose? I saw in it was talking about quarantine area. Is there a specific quarantine area? I just want to make sure.
Don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
We can make one if not.
Sure.
Hey, Angel, is there a quarantine?
Yes, there's a quarantine pod in the shuttle attached to the ship.
Okay.
The shuttle Persis, which is the shuttle that's hanging on to the outside of the ship, has 2 security rooms, effectively, that are designed for quarantine.
Is the shuttle? Is that a shuttle that can make planetary drops and
Yes.
return back to the ship?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. There's the planetary extract that comes back. Geological survey of the place, which for some reason they decided to put the graphic in multiple different angles.
Do they
Just
call that-
Sciencey.
yeah,
Is that
sciencey.
Sales Glory? Is that the?
The computer pops up and says this planetoid, it has a registered name of Salo's Glory, which is unusual given that it's a random planetoid in the middle of deep space that nobody's ever been to.
It's a random name generator on the
That's right.
ship. That
Yeah.
just like,
Angel just likes to come up with names for things.
yeah.
As it's going, as the report's coming out, Rudolph comments, Captain, there appears to be something in orbit around the planet also. We're registering some sort of mass in orbit.
Is it showing as organic or
No.
non-organic?
You're still too far out, but the ship's continuing to decelerate to enter orbit.
It's just orbiting the planet as well?
Yes.
Does it seem like it's larger or smaller than our ship?
It's indeterminate at this point.
Does it have argon for breathing?
You do not breathe argon. Functionally, the main thing is it's not a breathable atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's more vacuum and or dangerous areas. It has argon, helium, oxygen, methane, carbon monoxide.
It was reclaimed by our company.
According to the computer system, it has a registered name.
Is there any information in the computer about how the planet was claimed, or
No.
nothing prior?
No.
So,
Yeah, closest Angel can tell you is that it has the signature from the scan. It found a match in the database with this name.
open radio channels and see if we can.
Okay.
Here,
You open up radio channels.
Yeah, seriously.
Are you on hold?
She was on hold last night for the same company for 2 hours.
Okay. You turn on.
It was your party, right?
He's a full-blood colonel. What's he gonna care?
You open up the radio to try to hear any transmissions or reach out to whoever it might be. The only thing you get is a.
she thought it was my
It's a taco's acting up.
When I first heard it, I thought he about shit himself. And then it dawned on me because he had that look on his face, smirky look, and I was like, okay, it's the music. All right,
Co-pilot's
Yeah, both the co-pilots are looking at you. It does give you a bit of a queasy feeling.
Has alien life been found?
No.
Or we left?
Nope.
Alrighty. Go ahead and close that off then, because yeah, I'm not digging it.
Okay.
Um,
According to Rudolph, it's on all bands.
oh man.
And seems to be emanating from the planet, or at least in that direction.
Is that directly towards the mass as well, or just?
I'll tell HR.
Yeah, the planet is the mass.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Those of you that are in the cockpit, give me a sanity roll.
yeah.
So who's in the cockpit?
You, the co-pilot, Andy, and I think that's it.
We gotta roll below.
Is it okay if I close the?
Yes.
Okay. Where's insanity already?
Still gonna be good for it the whole time.
Passing sanity. I shall never go insane.
I failed by 4 points. So.
Okay.
I didn't put it on speakerphone.
Yeah, I'll just take insanity loss.
Okay. You lose 2 points.
Okay.
Like I said, the key metric is 5 in one roll, or 1/5 of your overall sanity.
Oh, you have to remark on my fifths. All your fifths are marked.
Whatever your sanity is.
Your sanity.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to clarify what we just did for me, because I'm confused now.
Okay, so what's your sanity?
Like the big number? Like
Yes,
60?
big number. 60. So roll percentile, get less than a 60.
I rolled an 8.
Okay, then you're fine.
Oh,
The strange sound seems unusual, leaves you feeling uneased, but doesn't directly affect you as such. Okay? The engineer seems very disturbed.
Okay, so I have to ask again. How did that work? 60 to an 8?
Yeah, you can try to
You're trying to roll less than your number.
If you roll above that number,
If you rolled a
What
68,
are
that
you
would have been bad.
rolling
Percentile.
two dice.
2d10.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh,
I took
I'd
one
say
and
I
it's
rolled
got
with a
the
freaking
tens
20.
on it.
I was
It's
like,
one.
Well, you definitely get less than
I was
then.
gonna
Okay.
say, how are you ever gonna?
It's that-
Okay,
that's
rewind.
why this was-
Percentile. Everything's percentile.
Okay.
I thought I said that at the beginning. It's the cryo freeze is messing with everybody's memory.
Okay.
No, woman.
Percent.
Percentile.
2 dice. 2d10.
2D. That's your tens digit.
Okay.
And another
Oh.
D10.
Another D10.
I keep forgetting that she's not playing Warhammer with us. So she doesn't use
Right.
percentile.
That's. We don't use percentile frequently in Pathfinder.
Okay. So now that is a what?
10?
Okay, so that's a 1. That's 13.
Okay, I get
Okay.
it. I got it.
Okay. So
You have
that
to roll 1 to 99.
Right.
It's like I got an 8. Sweet.
Or
Now,
actually 1 to 100.
every now and then I'll give you advantage, which means you roll 2 tens-digit dice and you take the best one. Or you'll have disadvantage, you roll 2 tens-digit dice and you take the worst one. Okay?
Captain's right, though. I should have just stuck with 20.
Probably. Okay, so anything you guys want to change or do?
I'm gonna notify all decks to stay off frequencies.
Stay off the radio.
Yeah, stay off radio frequencies. Only inter-ship comms.
Okay.
His brain's not
Um,
fast enough
Map
currently.
of the ship.
Of the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could I just go exploring the ship?
sure.
Okay. And try to get myself familiar with the ship.
Okay.
He's like, wait for this.
You just wander around?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. Why does the captain want us off the radio? What's going on?
Don't worry about it.
Well, that's kind of unusual.
Not really. How do you know what's usual and not usual? We're in deep space.
Well, we're slowing down. Surely there's something out there.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay. So, okay. I guess we'll just eat our sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm making sure that like they're all like
Together?
and I'm over here.
Okay. Keeping some distance between you and them? Okay.
I'm an asshole, basically, according to my character sheet. So it works well for me. I'm badged.
Okay. 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so later, you start to come within view of the planet. It is a large, rocky planet from the looks of it. Doesn't have not really much to it. It is roughly the size of the moon. Not particularly notable for anything. It's basically a pale white color, presumably from ice or other buildup on it. As you're approaching, you can see what looks like a large ship in orbit that looks exactly like the Trifina. It's currently sitting there in orbit, floating, completely stationary. None of the rings are moving. All the lights are out. It appears to, for all intents and purposes, be dead.
I'm going to ask Angel to try to identify the ship.
She works for a moment, comes back, says the registry is coming up as the Trifina.
That doesn't seem weird at all. Well,
See, I'm trying not to pay attention because we're down in the science lab. We're not paying attention.
Well, yeah. There's nothing to worry about at all.
so even
So what the captain needs to do is you hook up the comm thing so it turns on speaker in the whole ship.
Yeah. Then everybody freaks out.
Yeah. Apparently, there's more people than just one person on this ship.
The scientists start unpacking the scalpels.
We got this, boss.
is there a purge button up here on the?
It's just a collection of buttons like airlock.
So it's obviously an imposter ship. Makes sense to me.
Sure.
But we do have.
And keep in mind, technology-wise, we're only a few years away from the technology you're interacting with.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not super science by any means. This is gritty science fact type stuff.
More 2001 Space Odyssey.
Right. 2001: Space Odyssey is a much closer thing, or Event Horizon, or Aliens, and so forth.
Let's not.
Not Star Wars or Star Trek.
Yeah. Take out my lightsaber.
Beat me up.
We do have a job description that says we have to go search for possible survivors.
Yeah, the ship you're on, the automation and the pilots really effectively come to a stop in orbit, a few hundred miles away from the other Trifina. They take up a geosynchronous location above the planet, and wait for direction.
Does the other Trifina have a shuttle attached
No.
still?
No shuttle.
It's hoping for a backup. Not that I'd be just stealing stuff. I will. Contact.
Open up communications all lot.
All bridges in interior.
Okay.
Asking for volunteers for an external adventure. Like, I'm trying really hard here. I'm gonna sit over here and look up
Some terminology.
some terminology. A spacewalk.
We need some red shirts for an away mission.
Yeah. But it does have.
Are you pulling a Carter thing?
No. I seriously.
Santa's
No, my character is like awesome and brave, but I am absolutely like blanking every time I try to use
I think it's a great play for the leader. It's like
It's the cryo freeze effect.
Yes.
I gave you a
I honestly
legitimate.
don't think your kid is a moron, by the way. I just want you to holy hell, he was so convincing. We hadn't played with him for so long, and I was sitting there the whole time just going, is this kid retarded? You know?
But like, he's high functioning. No, it was funny because he was both in both the other Cthulhu, one mindset
Yeah, he's fantastic.
straight, and then does the same thing with his other character. You're right, absolutely, he
He's
is.
such a fantastic
He wasn't
actor.
even offended. He's like, he came over. He's like, yeah, they really thought I was dumb. Like, he was bragging it up. Asking for volunteers across the bridge for excursion to a duplicate ship.
All the scientists are over there. They're just like looking at each other.
On the other ship, but we're still gonna be sitting there going, what the hell's going on?
No, he
I
called
opened-
it out to all the decks.
Open
Oh,
all
okay,
decks
okay.
All
for
decks.
volunteers.
Right. We need volunteers to go to a duplicate ship. And all the scientists are now looking at you really wide-eyed.
We found another ship way out here in deep space.
Okay, so none of them are engineers, though.
No. The engineers went to the engine room. You saw him wander by a little bit ago. He's the command
What
engineer.
are the different departments again?
Engineer, scientist, pilot.
No. In the scientists.
In the scientists,
Yeah, the sub classification.
you have astrophysics,
Right.
human biology, astrobotany, astronomy, biology, exobiology, meteorology, and physics.
I'm going to send the human biologist
Okay?
with them.
You get volunteered.
Oh,
Did you not know?
no, I thought you were something else.
He's sending sacrificial lambs.
I'm a leader.
He's
Yeah.
the closest thing to a medic I've got.
Make sure you
Let's go.
grab your gear.
I'm leader. I'll stay. You go.
That is exactly how that works.
Okay?
Star Trek is retarded. Let's take all of our department
This
heads
isn't Star Trek, though.
and the bridge crew and send them all off on away
Yeah.
missions every time.
Yeah.
It's such a dumbass thing to do.
This isn't Star Trek, though.
We're the most intelligent bunch. I mean,
Shit.
Well, that
Instead of Barclay on every damn episode.
well, and that's the relevant piece. As the chief science specialist, you in theory are as qualified as all of the individual scientists, as far as your skill set. You're their overall leader as far as skill set.
Okay, all I know is the captain said we need to do this and we need to go, so I'm going.
Okay.
Because you said I need to go.
there we go.
We're
There you
going.
go.
I like this one.
Yes.
Fine, I'll go with
Finally.
it.
Okay.
I'll make
I
sure
guess so.
I
I guess I'll go.
You're gonna volunteer?
Sure.
Okay.
This is so bad. If all the player characters are on the one ship,
Mhm.
we have no control over what happens on the other ship.
Sure.
Okay.
Are there any of the other people that you want to bring with you?
Um,
Rudolph reminds you, if you consider him as far as a pilot, he's the primary pilot. His role is specifically to stay on this ship to pilot it. He has no interest in going. He doesn't even consider it. That's what she's for. The Rajendra, the astrophysics scientist, is kind of interested. He's more curious than anything
I
else.
was going to bring him.
Okay.
It was on my mind. I was
The-
literally thinking
I
about who
will
else to
actually
take.
stay without it.
so
You're gonna stay?
Yes, I do notice that
Okay.
with the lights are off. Obviously,
Think about it,
it's
yeah.
just an orbit. There's no engines going. There's no rotation,
Correct.
which means they power
gotta
us
send an
down. So I
engineer
need
with us,
I need
though.
an engineer with us to either get the
Okay.
engines
You
booted
you
back.
have Arjun, a secondary engineer, age 40, and Choi, a Korean, age 36.
Take the Asian.
Both of them are junior engineers under your command. You're the expert at it. Now they can certainly manage this ship. Don't know what they're going to find on the other ship.
I'll send the first one.
Okay, you're going to send Arjun?
That was Sean's
Okay.
subtle way of saying you should go.
No, you guys said however you want. You guys have the skills. If you want to send the junior engineers, that's fine.
Why don't we just dock the ships together?
They don't dock.
They don't. They're the big giant ships. We have a shuttle we can take from here over there
Correct.
and dock.
Okay. Hear me out.
You
Hear
need,
me
to,
out.
you need to do what the captain tells you to do.
Do both ships have shuttle attachments?
They
They're
do.
the exact clones of each other, right?
They do.
Okay, according to that schematic, we just rotate the ship and then hook it this way.
No, it's not that long.
Hmm?
It's not that. A, that's not that long, and B, the ship doesn't handle that precisely.
It's deep space. You maneuver within half an inch.
Not easily.
But
Not
that- but the other-
not with modern technology. That's why they have landers and everything. They don't dock the space station to another space station.
And the other ship has no
The
power.
International Space Station would tend to argue with you about this.
They don't. They dock small landers with it. Small ships with a big space station. You're effectively flying two gigantic space stations.
The other one doesn't have power, so
Right, doesn't have power.
that's what I'm
You only
worried
need to
about.
have one that has power, but
Right.
whatever. Okay.
Crash into each other.
That's effectively what you're doing
I know.
when you dock.
I don't want to crash into each other. I like this ship.
As the scientist is questioning the reality of this whole thing. He says it's obviously workable. You just got to have the right math. So, captain and the pilots are saying, nope, can't do it.
My math skills say. Is it math skills? I ain't got it.
If you want to believe the scientist, you are welcome to try.
According to the schematic, it would totally work.
He's playing the scientist.
In no world does this work. Anyway. It does not work, my friend. It does not work. It does not work. Okay. All right. Everybody on the shuttle. Let's rock and roll.
Everybody on the shuttle? Okay, who else were you taking with you?
We're taking Argon for the thing.
Arjun for the engineer?
Argon.
Argon.
We're going to take all the noble gases.
Oh, love me some Argon.
And the astrophysicist?
Yeah, the one that showed.
Yeah, Yadrendra? Okay, and then everybody other than Ernst.
Yes.
Okay.
There's just feeling wheezy right now.
Straight sounds.
And now we'll.
Now go back to
We're on
Barrass
the
Lee.
shuttle. I'm gonna give them the lowdown on the weird noises we were hearing
Okay.
coming from the planet.
So, you guys, let's see, we have Camillo's going. Yeah, and the captain's going. And Eliza's going to fly the shuttle. Johan's going. Adrenda. And then the other engineer. So 6 of you are going?
Yes.
Okay. So,
So there's 2 of us scientists. We have human biology. We have me, catch-all.
We got
You can-
astrophysicists.
Well, we do have an astrophysicist.
And a pilot.
But you know exo whatever, right? right? But-
Yeah, I've
Okay.
like Sean said, I've got a pretty broad set of skills
Okay.
that make me a nightmare for somebody like you.
Sorry, I was waiting for that. No, that's good. I'm over here looking up space jargon. And space jargon.
As the game goes on, the cryo freeze will slowly dissipate,
Oh my
and
God.
his technical knowledge will get better.
Do you remember that movie Space Camp from when we were kids?
Yes.
Dude, that was my favorite movie as
my
a kid.
gosh.
But even as a kid, I was like, this is total horseshit. Yeah, let's
Okay.
put a bunch of kids on a fucking space shuttle. That's
The shuttle exterior looks basically like that. Basically
Okay.
like a traditional Challenger shuttle type design.
Let's hope it's not a
Yeah,
shuttle.
yeah.
Well,
I don't like that design.
there's a reason for that reference. As you guys get on, you board near the rear of the shuttle. Inside there's a large airlock room. There are numerous spacesuits. The shuttle is designed to have 3 people comfortably in the cockpit, 6 people comfortably in the main crew area. It can fit up to 8 in a pinch.
Okay.
Okay, you guys have 6, so that shouldn't be a problem. The way it's broken out, you have the engine in the back of the room, or back of the shuttle, obviously, the engine compartment. You have a cargo bay that has various standard supplies for away missions and so forth. A small shipboard lab. Medical center near the center of the place, medical bay. That's where the 2 cells are, or lockable rooms for quarantine and so forth. A handful of crew quarters for longer missions, and then the cockpit up in the front. Okay. Now the only
So if outside of the fact that it's probably supply limited, it's basically a fully functioning starship.
it could. I mean, you're not gonna be able to live in it for months because you don't have that many supplies. But otherwise, yeah, it's a mini ship that has everything that you would need for other stuff. Okay. So where you guys want to go on this shuttle?
Obviously, I'm in the cockpit.
Okay.
Makes sense. So-
Yeah, he is. I'm pilot. On hold with the airplane.
Trying to get clearance.
Can I space her?
You can. Okay.
Your ass.
Who is? So I assume Eliza is going to go to the shuttle or the front as well.
Nerd.
Where would the rest of you like to go?
I'll just sit back in the back passenger compartment, grab a book.
I have no books.
Stop it, Owen.
Operation manual.
Okay. So the other 4 of you just get a seat in the center area, and you guys detach from the Trafina and start floating over to the other ship.
Okay, we don't have communicators. How did you guys assign anybody to the bridge to maintain communications and all that stuff?
Yeah, the actual co-pilot.
Okay.
The actual pilot. She's the co-pilot. Yeah. Rudolph is on the bridge.
I can see his
Okay.
nose so bright
That's right.
from drinking.
So yeah, he can keep. He seems to be capable of keeping contact with the shuttle, although it is being overwhelmed somewhat by that other signal.
What other signal?
I said when we got on the ship, I was giving him the lowdown on
Oh,
the garble.
I'll immediately send it down to the science lab and have the
Okay.
nerds start working on
Start
it.
analyzing it.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't see how keeping it up with comms.
Well, that's the question. Are you guys going to keep an open communication to the ship?
Yes. Well, never
Yeah,
mind.
to the bridge. Yeah.
Right, and the signal seems to bleed into that. Okay. Or do you want to just check in at certain points?
So we don't have mobile comms. We'd have to come back to the ship to.
You don't, just in your basic uniforms, you don't have mobile comms. Now, you can get comms, or they certainly are available in spacesuits.
Well, with no power or anything like that on the other ship, we'll probably have to stay in our suits anyway when we go in. Until we can verify that it's breathable, if it is.
Yeah.
How far away from the other ship are we?
A couple hundred miles.
Yeah,
So-
we
Oh, that far?
we were keeping an
Someone
orbit.
has to go take off their spacesuit to figure out whether.
Let's see if there's air.
Yeah.
Does Angel come with us?
Angel's the artificial intelligence.
Right.
Yeah, she's on board this.
and
Yeah,
questions and-
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Rex,
She's always watching you.
we're working no play.
Can't do that now.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Wait on you, Captain.
Yep. I will grab.
I think the captain's trying to figure out what his plans are.
Trying to make sure I don't sound stupid 800 times in a row. 799.
Undock.
Yeah. Well, once we've got, we're not gonna leave an open channel, but I will let the British know that we will check in periodically.
Okay.
Astronaut
Are they able to open a channel from the other side? Like if something happens, can
If
they,
some,
can they
they can send you a signal, sure.
Okay, then yeah, I'll let them know that if we don't send a signal every few hours,
Okay.
so
This was a real situation.
for him to open a channel,
And
check in.
her would be going through a flight manual to launch and all that other stuff. So they really would have to books out going
Yeah.
step by step, 'cause that's the way you do it.
And cryosleep messes with your mind, so it's better to have the procedure.
Just have the AI.
So you got everything then?
Yeah, we're good, and we got suits for everybody, right? In the ship, there's space suits for everybody in this ship.
Everybody brought their own, or
Everybody's just wearing their skivvies right now.
Well, I was asking, are there space suits in this?
You haven't
Shuttle?
seen any. There aren't any in the cockpit, and there weren't any in the airlock.
Yeah, so
I go back on the station. and go get
I
a
mean,
full
the logical place would be the cargo bay of this ship.
all the way at the other end.
At the of the
Oh,
shuttle.
where this shuttle's
The
at?
shuttle here,
Okay.
right in the room next to where they're all sitting around, wondering where can we get some spacesuits. Probably they're in the cargo bay of that area.
I'll stride past like I absolutely
Okay.
know what I'm doing.
Cryosleep.
Okay.
And swing it open.
You guys hit in there. There's several boxes. There's a dozen or so spacesuits. All look pretty good condition, almost like they're new. There's also a rack that's lined with 6 plasma rifles and 6 plasma pistols,
Oh yeah, those are.
if any of you care about those. Again, given the fact that none of you have military training, back in basic, you vaguely remember having fired it once or twice. You know they don't have very many charges before they're empty, and they're not something you want to get hit by. But they work in vacuum and might be a necessary self-defense.
Okay.
Okay?
And what's in the boxes?
Boxes have lots of miscellaneous supplies, food, rations, things like that. Along with there's 12 spacesuits, and then the weaponry.
All right.
Okay.
So if we take something, we'll just write it down in the.
Yep. Just add it to your character sheet. Okay. Now the plasma
Here,
pistol
right, 6, right?
specifically has a damage rating of 2d6 plus 1. Has a range of 5 yards.
This is the rifle,
Pistol.
the pistol.
Okay. And 15 charges.
Is that something that can be recharged back here?
Yes.
Okay.
5
Yes.
yards, 15 charges.
Yes. 2d6 plus 1 damage. The plasma rifle is two-handed, has damage of 3d6 plus 2.
There's a weapon family.
Oh yeah.
Plasma rifle is 3d6 plus 2, has a range of 20 yards, and has 30 shots.
Alright. Pistol. Down here.
So pistol?
Plasma pistol. Yeah. And then the damage is going to be 2d6 plus 1.
And this will be using your fighting.
Firearms.
Your firearm handgun. Yeah, that's what it's going to use. So not very accurate.
Range of 5 yards.
That's why you just firing line.
Okay.
Ammo, did you go?
Yeah, that works.
I grabbed a handgun.
What's the regular and
Did you
hard
write my name for me? I was distracted.
and extreme numbers?
When you roll,
For your handgun, half and quarter.
So when you roll, you got to roll below 25 to hit. 12 is a better one.
Oh, gotcha.
5 is a.
Right.
I know.
Okay.
I have a wrench,
You have a wrench?
probably.
A mechanicus wrench would be okay.
Yeah.
Dark tide. Gotta get it,
I
guys.
got a spacesuit. You got a spacesuit. Here, grab one.
Okay. The spacesuit itself, the environmental suit, has 2 oxygen tanks. Each tank gives you 5 hours of air. The helmet features 2 outside lights, 2 interior lights. Also includes motion tracking, so you can sense what's around you because your vision is typically fairly limited. The suit itself is formed from heavy padding with a hard body shell for the upper torso. Boots and body joints on the suit are also reinforced. It does have magnetic boots, so you can hold on in 0 gravity. The consoles hold scanning equipment and can also access external electronic systems such as airlocks and so forth remotely. Okay. There's a belt attached to the suit's waist, which can hold various tools for maintenance, etc. The suits themselves give you 4 points of armor in the case of in case of combat or accidental damage. But be aware, if they suffer too much damage, they will be punctured, etc. Okay. And anything that you're doing in 0 gravity uses obviously your 0 gravity skill as far as maneuvers and so forth. That includes if you're in 0 gravity, you use that for any brawling and activity along those lines. Okay. So some of you have some skill in that. I don't think everybody does. So now that you guys have spacesuits and everything, you guys launch, detach from the Trafina, and start activating the boosters to fly over to the other one. About 30 minutes or so later, you guys are pulling up on the other area. There is no power on the other ship, so it doesn't react. But between the pilot and Angel, you're able to come up and at least dock with it. The initial reading from Angel registers that the Trafina is currently operating in silent running mode. Basically, everything's turned off. Gravity is off. Life signs is registering as 0. Life support is on minimal, meaning you will need spacesuits. And the ship shuttle is, according to its records, are listed as missing, possibly destroyed.
Is when a person's in cryo, do they show up as alive, or would they show up as?
They wouldn't be alive if it's in silent running mode, because everything is turned off.
Gotcha. They could defog. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mush.
I'm going to go up to the cabin.
Okay.
All right, because I was in the back passenger.
Sure.
I'm going to go to the cabin, take a look around. Can we scan for debris of the shuttle or something like that?
Angel. Should run that for us.
Yeah, so you don't have the equipment on the shuttle to do that. You could do it from either the command deck on this ship, if it's functional, or on your other ship.
Any other ship's not close enough to scan this ship. We weren't able to do life forms or anything like that.
There wasn't anything to register.
I'll send a message over to Rudolph.
Okay.
And see if he can scan for debris of the other shuttle that seems to be missing.
Yeah, I've been doing that while I was waiting. There looks like some activity on the planet. On the western side of the planet, I picked up some wreckage. Looks like something crashed. And there's also a couple of sites. That strange radio signal. I keep listening to it. It seems to be coming from the 2 poles of the planet.
Simultaneously?
Yes.
Can you, while we're in this other ship, can you try to separate those signals?
I got the scientist working on that.
Okay. That works.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go into the ship now.
Okay.
Default.
Is there an AI on the other ship?
I mean,
Angel?
if it's a duplicate.
Nothing I can talk to.
Okay. I think that should be priority one. Just getting the AI up and running.
And our dock is safe and successful, so we're good to.
You currently have a hard seal against the dock.
Okay.
And with the shuttle connected, it can at least open the airlock. It can provide the power for that. Everything else is going to be internal on the system. You're gonna have to do everything manually.
Is there a duplicate airlock on the opposite side of the shuttle?
On both sides of your shuttle, yes, there's one on either side in the back. There's also one in the roof of the cockpit.
See, you can maneuver the other ship over. We can use the shuttle as an airlock between the two.
We're gonna boot this one up. We'll have two ships. Then we're gonna be twice as awesome.
Okay, this is officially the plot. to
Sean's
Event
like, will you stop?
This is
Tell you
Event
you can do it.
Horizon, what y'all doing right now. This is not good.
Okay, so who's going first?
Well, I'm the captain, obviously.
Obviously, he is.
Always delegate.
I always have to go first.
Okay.
I will suit up. Tell everyone else to suit up as well.
Do you want me to stay on the ship?
Well, if we got a hard seal, we shouldn't have any issues. You wanna-
Yeah, I'm a pilot. If I go on the other ship and die, what happens?
Well,
Who's gonna fly this thing home?
well, I can fly at home. I mean, I have that ability, but
I don't know. His navigation was actually fairly passable.
you know,
I mean, anybody can press go.
Yeah. Hey, AI, take me here.
So not quite that advanced, but yes.
I'll do whatever you say.
It's an Alexa of a guidance system, not a HAL type thing. So, okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead and remove the shuttle picture. The airlock cycles and then unseals and opens up. There's a bit of a puff of ice that comes out. And you guys, you should be able to locate you as soon as you find them.
It's blank.
Scroll up.
I did.
we're gonna turn the light on.
There was nothing on there.
There's nothing on there? It's not working? Oh, man. Okay.
Try opening your eyes.
Well, that's not
Cut
working.
didn't tell me so. I have to wait.
So you decided to take a really shit flight. They offered him a flight, like leaving in
Captain's
like
like,
the
there
next 30 minutes.
could be
Oh.
a Medusa waiting
One
for
woman
us.
wants
So
to
everyone
go.
just close their
Chicago.
eyes. Both of us 5 minutes and listen for snakes.
Chicago's not that far
Snakes
away.
on
That's what I forgot.
Chicago's only, what, like 4 or 5 hours away?
What's that, Chicago?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Six
Alright.
to drive.
Duty. Losses on a plane. It's not the one you wanted, but hey.
Are you saying the snake is on the plane?
On a jet plane.
Okay, first technical mistake I made. Probably of several.
Captain, Captain.
Okay. Did that show anybody now?
It did.
Okay. There you go, Captain. You step in. You activate your thing. As you do so, motion sensor ticks on. You see a dark hallway.
Motion sensor ticks on as something's down there.
Nope.
Oh,
It starts
Oh,
registering
so
that
working.
there is nothing currently.
great.
You'll hear a familiar tone if and when there is movement.
Like that.
No. I don't know.
The
Maybe it was
is it
George's phone.
ticking? Is that like a bomb?
Yeah, somebody shared a video to all of us on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Somebody Mr. Doc, somebody or other.
Can't concentrate. on that.
That's the point.
I know.
Well, sanity.
Angel, assuming that this is a duplicate of the ship we have, where we need to go to open life support and reboot the ship.
Well, you'd have to get the engine running,
Okay.
and you'd have to probably check the command deck and re-access things.
The command logs and everything are not going to work until the engine's running, though, correct? Until there's power to get out of
Potentially,
sleep mode.
yeah. I mean, in silent running mode, it's basically in minimal power. So there's going to be some systems that are working. It's going to require command access to be able to reboot things, as well as engineering command access to be able to start the engine, assuming there's no other major damage or other problems.
Gotcha. But
Okay.
we know that the engines are on the far other end of the
Correct.
ship, so. Command deck's closer. I'd like to go there and see if we can just take it out of silent running mode.
Okay.
Hey, I remembered what it was this time.
Nice.
Instead
Well
of
done.
sleep mode.
Okay.
Captain's smart.
Yes.
So head forward.
Yep, gonna head.
Okay. So you head forward. Anybody going to go with you? Okay. That would be Elisa Veta.
Anybody else going?
We're gonna head down to the science labs. Yeah? Yeah. Why don't we go to the crew quarters first and see if we can find the crew quarters?
Remember, anything you find is company property.
While you're looking for crew quarters, look for crew dimes too.
What was it? Oh, shut up. Shut up. God damn it, I can't fall for that. Okay.
Okay. So Tomeo, Pinheiro, and Bruno.
Did you say tomato, Panera, bread?
Tomeo, Pinheiro, and Bruno. And then we had Camillo is there also. Plus an engineer. The scientists say they want to check the science lab, see what's going on.
Oh,
So Yajendra wants to go that way.
We're gonna head down and try to find survivors in the pods first, see if they're still in the pods. And then from there, we're gonna check the crew quarters, see if we can find the bodies while you're trying to get the
I would say
you stay back at the
Yeah,
ship.
I'm at the ship.
While the engineers try to get the ship up and running.
there's only one engineer with us.
Right.
So,
Who he's currently playing, as far as the engineer.
can you
I am?
guys,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
after you've looked
Because you
at
don't have
the
much role from the other ship.
to the
I'm an
engine room
engineer.
after you
We'll
looked at
go
it,
down
just
as a group.
keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, that's fine.
Keep in contact. Let us know. Angel, can you tell me what that ticking is?
That's the motion sensor.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
good.
bye.
You're the one who turned it on.
Yeah.
Turn on motion sensor. Oh God, what's that noise?
She reminds you if any motion is detected, you'll start to hear a different tone.
Oh, hey. Where's that motion coming from? Which
Well,
direction?
it's nowhere right now. That's just
Oh,
that
okay.
was letting you know that if there's something out there.
I slowly put the pistols away because I did take two.
This is freaking nightmares.
Okay, so you
So-
guys go and then
So the plan is you're heading for the bridge with the pilot, and he's heading for the labs
yeah.
with the other scientist, and the engineer is heading off by himself to the engine.
No, the engineer's going with them because they're heading in that direction,
Uh huh.
and then they're gonna escort him that way.
Okay.
And hopefully, if I can't get the thing going up there, I can.
Not that it's relevant, but who has guns?
I do.
Everybody.
I guess
Everybody grab a pistol.
Did he take a pistol or a rifle?
No, take a rifle.
Okay.
I don't know what the
Okay.
I
stats
can
are.
tell you what they are.
Yeah, 3d6 plus 2.
Range of 20 yards.
Yep.
30. I thought it was 30.
20.
30 charges.
Oh, okay.
30 charges, yeah.
The pistol's 15
No,
yards,
I'm like-
right?
5 yards.
Charges? 30?
30. 15 for the pistols.
Yep. 5 feet. 15 charges, 5 yards.
Yep.
I still would have taken the pistol.
30 yards for the rifle, correct?
20 yards for the rifle, 30 charges.
That is a shit weapon.
Yes. But it's a plasma weapon, which is as high tech as this gets. So,
Just give me a 50 cal.
It's a minor.
okay, so Tomeo and Eliza are going to head north, or up to the bridge, better said, and the other 3 of you are going to head to the engine, or the crew areas and so forth.
Right, are we still floating
Yes.
while we're doing this?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I mean, you're in zero gravity. You can use your magnetic boots if you want. Makes it a little easier to move around, or you can just float. You guys all have some basic zero gravity training. It's less strenuous, certainly, to just float, but it's also more disorienting.
Okay. I'm fine with being in 0 G.
Okay.
So, are all of us using our motion detectors? And do they detect each other?
They do, but Angel, at least on your suit, filters out your own signals.
Okay.
As long as she gets a clean signal from it,
Right.
she'll filter that out.
Okay. I'm turning mine on then too. So.
Me too.
Okay. Okay. So you guys head up. The next airlock to the center area is currently closed.
Is there a manual override?
There's a big wheel.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay. Give me a strength roll.
Hey, all right. That's exactly
Those are the
half.
ones in the suit. Nobody's used the suit for 10 years. Something moved in.
Dude, not even funny. we were having an exercise.
There's a squirrel in here.
We were training, and we're all in mob gear because it's an exercise, right? I'm in full Kim gear, got my gas mask on, and we're supposed to be laying under our desks waiting for the attack to be over, right? And I'm laying there, and this fucking spider goes like this.
Oh no.
Right? So I roll out from the desk screaming, and I throw this mask, right? I'm like smacking myself and all this, and I get in trouble. This is an exercise, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it was literally on my eyeball. And they're like, well, you would have died in real life. I'm like, I'm okay with that. And it was just,
I would have realistically done that in combat. Believe me.
fucking Hendrix tried to write me up for that. Douchebag.
So half for my strength.
Okay.
I got half of whatever.
Okay, no problem. You swing that door open. Beyond is a access port. It takes you upstairs to the next room. Looking around, you are on the command deck. This is obvious. It should be just north of him.
Oh, I just had the teleportation slip.
Okay.
It's this.
Looks like a
Sorry.
creepy doll.
It squeaks.
It's not motion. Don't worry.
That's funny how close it was.
Okay. Now, I've lost where the other one went.
Looks like a creepy doll.
Does anybody else hear a sea shanty in their head now?
Oh, I don't know the song. Carter plays it all the time, so. And I can't sing the one from Trailer Park Boys, so because that would be wrong.
That's what the motion detector is.
Okay. Oh, that's what's
Kitty
happening.
Man?
Okay, you guys are there. Okay, so heading up to the bridge. Meanwhile, the other 4 of you head south,
Yes.
down deeper into the ship. Okay, the command deck. You open up the portal, climb in. The command deck is silent, has subdued lighting and inert equipment. There are 2 workstation consoles currently illuminated and are currently blinking.
I'm gonna go up and see if I can access them, even if this isn't my ship.
Mhm.
Maybe with my command.
Okay. You go over to them. They have the message on the screen. Lockdown initiated by remote. This can be overridden by Captain Holzel personal keycard.
Holzel?
Yep.
I'm gonna ask Angel if there's any reference to Captain Holzel anywhere.
No, nothing in her databanks.
Gonna look around for bodies in here if there's anything. No.
Nope, ship's empty.
take it out of lockdown mode. No other access to either one of those panels. There's nothing I can attempt to access anything.
No, there's only 2 screens that are even on, and those are registering as locked out. Without the key card, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do anything.
Alrighty. There's nothing in here. No papers. I mean, we're not that far into the future. I'm sure we're probably still right.
Well, no, everything's electronic.
Okay. Nothing creepy floating around in here.
Nope.
Okay. Well,
There is things floating, like I don't know, maybe like I want to say like food, but that wouldn't really apply on a bridge. But like personal effects, like you walk in and like the seat belts for the seats are loose and floating around, things like that. It's obviously been in 0G for some time, and whatever wasn't magnetized or otherwise attached has floated in some form.
all right. We'll go attempt to catch up with them.
Okay. Meanwhile, the others of you are heading down. For the sake of speed, I will only do one of you. Bruno, you head into... You are now assigned to be the leader since you're the command person, and the engineer is following you. Basically, this leads into the long access corridor that you slowly drift across. Long, dark tunnel, nothing much in this. All the lights and everything are turned off. At the far end is another access door, another airlock door currently sealed.
Okay. I'm gonna expect the door. Is there any damage to the door or anything like that?
Yeah.
Open the door.
Okay, give me a strength roll.
You know, there's no reason to suspect any foul play, really.
That's a lot of dice.
Crazy details.
There were quite literally rats in your hand.
How many do you need? I got 2.
No, I won't play your dice. Oh, I try to play your dice.
Do you need, like, dice?
Yeah, give me some of those medals.
George has many spare sets.
Great again.
You got the one set that doesn't have the D10s? He tricked you.
Awesome.
Oh, that doesn't happen either. That was unintentional.
How many sets can he go through before you get frustrated?
I was more looking at the colors. This is like Slanesh shit right there.
He just keeps giving you sets of dice, and none of them have D10s.
Not a problem.
Okay, no problem.
I rolled a 2.
You force the door open. It goes into the next room. You are in... Okay. I am going to change this to a 360.
Apparently I'm out in space.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it teleported him.
It teleports him, that's why. I'm going to change
The
it.
door went out to space. So it's like, opens the airlock and they're all gone.
He said he was a
He
smart
just gets his
scientist.
character sheet from the side of the other
Okay.
sentences.
I changed the view to 360 because this is it's running way too slow to have directional view. So that leads out of that into an access room. This is the first level for the rings.
Okay.
There's airlocks on all 4 sides, and another one that leads down through the central corridor down to the second ring.
Okay, assuming this is the exact same layout of the ship.
Exterior-wise, it looks the same.
Okay, yeah, well, assuming it's the exact same.
Mhm.
Which door leads to the habitation section?
All
Or
4.
Actually, not the habitation, but the cryopods.
All 4.
Oh, really?
All 4 lead to a arm that goes out and connects to the ring that's on the outer side.
Okay.
So it all depends on which section of the ring you want to be on, and there's no way to tell.
How many of us are there? There's you, me, and you. So just 3
And
of us.
Regender, yeah, the astrophysicist.
Engineer.
Do you guys want to split up and go down each hallway?
Everybody take a direction.
Yes. You gotta assume the character, man. It's we don't think there's aliens on the side of the door.
We don't? I do.
Okay, well, if
She's
I-
a biologist.
But I'm my understanding of the lore is that we've never actually encountered. As
Humanity
species.
has never encountered an alien.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
It
Now,
could be just
humanity has also never left the solar system.
Has now.
I've never encountered that
stars.
alien, but I believe in it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go north.
Okay. Give me another strength check.
That one is a fail.
Okay. So it takes a bit of effort, but you're able to force the door open. That leads into another access tunnel that you slowly drift down, and eventually to another.
Are there the personal effects and all that stuff floating in here?
In here, no. All these tunnels are empty.
So
This is
sterile, like.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like nobody's been here in a very long time. I mean, again, here and there you see like a discarded tool or maybe a bit of trash or something else.
So the ship was being used.
The ship, it appears the ship was being used, but everything's in zero gravity and hasn't been used or anything's gone on with it for quite some time.
Okay. So.
Okay.
Do we want to go east?
We want to split up and let him go off on his own?
No, I'm gonna
No.
go to my group. I was talking to my group about this.
Oh.
So here's what I'm thinking. They were using the ship. Something went wrong. They got on the shuttle. They left. Right? So let's see if there's anybody left on the ship, like in a cryopod that died. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought. Anybody have any?
We better hurry up, Captain. I sense that someone's trying to be in charge.
That was straight Vulcan, which is even better.
He's the command scientist. He's
So, which way's like the reactor?
south. So basically, the map, the way the map works is sometimes there's a long vertical shaft that runs the length of the ship. The engine is all the way at the bottom. Okay. What they did is they reached a certain point and now they're going sideways towards the rings. Okay. So if you want to go to the engine,
Yeah.
then
Is
you
that
would
where you would get the power back on?
yes. To check the engine, you would go instead of north, south, east, west. You'd go down.
Yeah. Well, we're going to the generator. Well, I'll be going to the generator to get power back on.
Don't go alone.
I'll go with it.
Okay.
So
I'll take the other scientist with me.
the biologist is going to go that way.
You're the medic, effectively. So why are you going down to the engineering section?
Well, why wouldn't you?
Because you told him not to go alone. Is the
Well, let's see.
astrophysicist a better choice?
Yeah, probably.
Cover your astrophysicist. Sorry, that's only two so far tonight.
Yeah,
We've
fair
got
enough.
a lot
Well,
more
I'm
to go.
thinking the astrophysicist might be able to help with the physics of the engine, maybe, versus, and then you and I, because I have the skills for first aid as well. So I'm thinking maybe you and I could figure out what's wrong with the peoples. You look upset.
No, I'm not upset.
Oh, okay.
Is first aid in there?
Yeah. So,
Oh.
all right. Well.
Okay.
Or we can split up all into ones.
No.
I was totally fine with that idea. We have no idea. We have no reason to suspect anything went wrong that would hurt us, per se.
Okay.
The ship seems perfectly intact, right?
I'm
Yep.
a lady.
No
I
sign
don't
of
look-
it.
I don't
No
go to
sign
the
of any
bathroom by
damage.
myself. I'm not going down the hall by myself.
True that.
Okay. So
You guzzle one of those and makes you
Go, you
feel like crap.
What is it?
Stupid hydration's discovered.
Oh,
Orange
I
cream
like-
flavored.
that sounds
Oh,
delicious.
it's so gross. So gross.
Huh?
You want one?
Maybe later.
I did forget her 5-hour energy drinks, so you know,
Oh, yeah, my super one.
pretty hateful.
getting cold.
A little bit.
It's like a
Squirty.
reverse butterfly.
No Sigourney Weaver, man. I can't be rolled around in a white beater. It's cold.
Last night we were talking about it. She's like, Everyone pays behind a giant 70s bush.
Yes.
Okay, so the astrophysicist is going with you.
No,
the two red shirts are going. She's staying with the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The astrophysicist is going with the engineer,
The red
Yeah, the two-
shirt-
and the
red
doctor
shirts are going
and the
with
doctor is
power
going with
robot.
you.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
So now you guys have sufficiently split up into 3 groups.
Power's never gonna come on.
Little cabin.
Okay.
Go down this portal of hell. Oh, huh.
I did say.
Is that carbonated? Is it?
It's like those, you know those old creamsicle like things?
A push button?
Yeah, push pop. Now imagine one of those melted into a Red Bull. That's
Oh,
what
I
it
don't
tastes
like
like.
Red Bull,
That's what it tastes like.
but I like push pop.
Okay.
Not for me. Let's put it that way.
You did have that giant can last. That
Oh, yeah.
monstrous can.
Yeah, and I stayed up till 8 o'clock in the morning.
I believe it.
Dang.
Yeah.
Here you go. Before I drink
It fucked my sleep schedule. I have
Thanks.
literally flipped my sleep schedule completely thanks to that night. I used to get tired at 1 in the morning. Now I don't get tired until like 6.
I think that's pretty tasty.
I think it's really tasty. I like it.
It tastes more like push pop than it does Red Bull.
See?
By far. You wanna try it?
Okay, so the 2 of you head down towards the engineering bay, and that takes you past the labs and the workshops.
Okay.
The scientist is interested in checking out the labs. He suggests you go check out the engine. He'll check out the labs.
Okay.
Okay, so he heads off to do that.
They split up again.
They split up again. Yeah, they easily decide to split up at the next level. He heads off to go to his own thing, and the engineer heads off on his own towards the engineering bay.
We have no reason not to, is my thought.
Sure.
Like your
Um,
so,
As you guys head down there, you open up the cargo bay,
okay.
or the lock, and as you do so, your motion sensor switches.
Oh no.
Not more noise.
Can I flash the flashlight in there?
Yeah. Can't really see it very well. It's pretty dark.
I guess I will
Run the other way.
close the door.
Okay, close the airlock again. Okay.
And does the motion sensor continue, or
It switches back to no detection.
Okay.
The motion sensor works by movement in the air molecules.
well, yeah, I wanted to make sure it wasn't like behind me. So if I
No, well, it's only forward facing. No, there's nothing coming up
Okay,
behind
okay.
you. It's
I didn't
something
know if it was like
something beyond the airlock.
Does it
I
only
didn't know if it
detect
was-
movement of a living thing? Or is
No,
it movement of the door?
it detects a significant movement. So like the door, it might trigger for a moment, but it's smart enough to figure that out. And all any miscellaneous things like a donut floating in the air, it's not going to trigger it. But anything sizable that's moving around, it would.
So it isn't 360 around you then?
No, it's forward facing.
Forward facing?
Yes, the aliens sneak up behind you. It's not going to tell you.
Okay, I guess I'll get the person that... the same floor, correct?
You're heading down to the engineering area at this point. You've left the scientist left a while ago.
Okay. Like how heavy is the door? Like could you like listen in? on the
No,
door?
it's
No?
an airlock.
That's I figured as much, but I didn't know.
I mean, you can certainly try, but you're wearing a spacesuit.
Little peephole. You
Well, is there like glass maybe? I could see through?
There is a small portal with glass.
Okay.
You look in. It's pretty dark.
Okay. I guess I will open the door and
You're gonna open the door you just closed?
yeah. Gotta get the power on.
Okay.
I never
And-
want to hear you two judge me again.
And
Well, technically, he's not even playing his own character.
yeah, I'm alright, sure.
He's got a spare life.
And try to figure out what side of the room it's on with the motion detector,
You
since it's forward facing.
It's forward facing, so it'll give you a sense that there's something in the room, and it gives you a warning. It's not that precise of
So I
a
can't,
sense,
like,
though.
turn 90, like a couple
No.
degrees and that it's on compared to if I'm facing the other way. It's
Well,
on.
you can certainly try that.
You won't hear anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so you open the door, your motion sensor starts getting triggered. Give me a systems roll.
What's his skill in set systems, or do I? Just
Where is it? Computer systems. We'll go with 30.
30. Okay. I got a 70, so no.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't detect anything until you see something roughly human size floating out of the darkness around one of the corners slowly towards you.
Can I flash my flashlight at it?
Sure. Appears to be a dead body, which prompts an insanity check.
I figured as much.
Yeah, which will go with a 50.
A 50? Wow. Well, I got a 7, so.
Okay. Looking around, the motion appears to be 3 dead bodies
Okay.
floating about in the room. They are wearing uniforms similar to your own. All of the bodies seem to be badly bruised, and they're not moving other than just floating. So they definitely seem like they're dead.
We got comms on our
Spacesuits, yes.
Can I try to calm the medic?
Sure,
I would like to try to do so.
it succeeds.
Okay.
I mean, it's an open radio. You
Okay.
talk to everybody effectively at the
Okay.
same time.
3 dead bodies in the power room.
Great, you gonna put it like that? Now we all have to do a sanity check. Good, deliver the numbers.
Is each section of the ship labeled properly?
Mhm.
Like, is there a section A2 or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
like that?
So it all matches with what your ship has. So he's in the engineering section, getting close to the engine, and he's found in the engineering bay several dead bodies.
I'm gonna go check it out.
You gonna head down there?
Yeah.
Okay. You just gonna wait for her, or
No,
No, you're not. Come here.
so does the motion sensor continue picking them off, or is it like
it detects them, and then when you realize what it is, the angel system shuts down the tone,
okay?
since it knows what the cause is at this point, as opposed to just an unknown sound
Okay,
or unknown source.
that's the motion sensor. Readjusting.
That's right.
So I guess I will try to get normal gravity on and power.
Okay, so you're gonna go. You're gonna have to go another level or 2 to get to that.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
to get
there
down to the actual power plant.
Is there any way to secure the body so they are free floating?
No, not that you see visibly.
We're still floating too, though, aren't we?
Yeah,
So there's
Do they have space suits on, or are they?
they're wearing plain clothes.
Okay. I didn't know if they can just like turn on their boots.
would I know where
Still,
airtight body bags would be?
Airtight. Sure, the medical bays and the crew rings,
Okay.
or in the science labs probably would have some too.
I will head right to the science labs because it's on the way to the other.
Okay, so you're heading down towards the engineering.
So I will direct her where in positional in the room where it is.
It's like right as you. I mean,
Okay.
there's only one path
Okay.
down there, so it's
And then I guess I will continue my way to the power room.
okay.
I'm gonna tell the biologist to wait for us.
Okay.
If we're on open comms, then tell her to wait for us. We're retrieving body bags because we need to do that.
Okay. You go to the next bulkhead door, next airlock door. It has a flashing red light next to it, indicating that the rooms beyond are depressurized.
You're going to explain that a little bit.
Okay, so
Completely blanked out what that means.
what that means is it's been open to space.
Okay. turn on my boots?
You can.
And then
You attach to the floor.
can I close the previous door?
Yes.
Before I do that, I want to let people know what I'm doing.
Okay. What are you going to tell them? Because I don't know what you're doing.
So I'll basically tell them that the power room is depressurized, correct?
Where beyond beyond where you're at, in the engineering bay, there is a EVA room, where you have space access. Okay, if you need to do like ship repairs, things like that.
Okay.
Okay. From the looks of this, from the lights, it indicates that beyond the engineering section, when you go down to the actual engine sections, all of that's been depressurized.
Okay.
Okay. So typically what you would do is seal it and then repressurize it and then be safe to enter. You're wearing a spacesuit, so you could certainly go in there.
Is
But
there a way to seal? Is there a way to seal it from here?
No.
No. So where would be the sealing part of it?
You could activate the machinery. I mean, you could tell the computer to do it if the computer had power,
Yeah.
which won't happen until he get it unlocked. The system can get unlocked or whatever, or you could figure out a way to go around to it otherwise. Right now, from a safety mechanism, the door won't physically open because it's depressurized on the other side. It's a safety mechanism.
Okay. Yeah. Is there a way to get past it? I guess then. Okay.
It depends. It depends on whether you want to try to force it or bypass it
Do I have
or
permission to force it open, Captain?
Did you recognize any of the bodies?
Did I?
you did not recognize any of the bodies, but they're each wearing uniforms with a name tag.
Okay.
The name tags have Haven Brady, Gao Yo, and Long Gang.
Yep.
No captains in there.
Nope. They look like people.
Unlike those captains, which aren't people.
Alright, everybody, we're looking for a Captain Holzel's bodies. We can get his card. I'll reprimand him. I do have 2 pictures.
No, sir, these are real people.
Does not compute. That's why I get along with Angel so well. If you force that open, that's going to lock down the rest of these areas. Are you locking yourself out there if you force that open?
Would I be?
If you can get the engine running, then you could, and you can reseal that area, then you'd be able to repressurize it and get back out. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to be effectively locking yourself in a vacuum.
I would be for some time.
Well, you've only got less than 10 hours worth of air. It's a
Yeah,
repair you can make in 10 hours.
Yeah, you got about 8 hours ish.
How long would it usually take to get the thing up and running, or would that take me actually being there?
Do you take you being there and seeing what, if any, damage there is? If it's simply a matter of turning it on, 30 minutes, the power plant would be going.
And sure, Captain.
You have more engineers on the other vessel, right?
You?
Oh, okay.
We got spares.
So I would obviously know what remote lockdown does. Being the captain.
As far as the safety measures,
Yeah. So would
Yeah,
that
if
disable the engines as well?
no.
No.
Well, remote. You're talking about from the note
The
or the screen?
Yeah, the screen.
Remote lockdown would have been a captain's order sent remotely to shut down the system, shut down the ship. Okay, lock it down so that it can't be interacted with, can't do anything with. It can only be released by the captain's key card. Okay.
So
Now, what he's talking about is effectively opening the ship to vacuum, and the natural safety mechanisms, which are not going to be power driven, because that would be unsafe, are going to kick in, and it's going to attempt to seal whatever the next room is to stop the breach. Okay, and it won't unlock unless he can, through engineering, bypass it and force it, damage it, or whatever, or fix the pressurization issue.
And you closed the other door,
He did.
I did.
so the bodies are out there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want me to put the bodies?
You hear a knock on the door as the medic gets there. Biologist.
Okay. I'll open the door.
Okay. He brings you in here. He's thinking about going into the next room.
What's in the next room?
The power plant?
And not much else because it's vacuum.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start
Checking the bodies?
inspecting the bodies. Yeah.
Okay. Give me a... I think it's biology or medicine.
I got
Medicine. Yeah, give me a medicine roll.
Which die is it?
Percent.
So I got a 97.
Okay. Also give me a sanity check for the 3 bodies. And I'll give you an advantage since you were prepared for it. So that means you roll 2 dice for the tens digit and take the better of the 2.
An 8.
Okay. So you're not freaked out by the bodies because they warned you they were here and everything. You can't determine how they died. They all appear to be completely covered in severe bruises and damage. Looks like blood vessels popped and so forth, but you can't conclusively determine what caused it.
There's no mucousy substances or anything on them?
No.
Or anything of that
No.
nature? No.
Okay.
Did we find the body bags?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I'll wait for the captain for further instructions.
Okay. So you guys wait. Meanwhile, you guys were heading over to the crew section,
Yes.
which would be these 2. Okay. So you guys are here, and that takes you to these. Okay, that takes one of you there.
Can I tell by the bruising how old they are? You know,
The bodies seem. It's hard to tell. I mean, you didn't roll really well on it. You'd estimate maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say.
okay.
Okay. Okay, so Jan and Bruno are here.
Here.
Right here.
I would like to say that clean is not that helpful.
It's not?
I can't see it.
So let's try this. I thought there was an option to like pull you directly to it.
Touch me, traitor.
Traitor?
Throw me into the bus every chance you get.
Okay, so scroll out, bottom left.
You know your role. Stay in your lane.
Aha, I just had the
Okay.
drag out.
So Bruno and Jan.
Space people.
Okay. Does it look like people have been using or was using this area too?
Yeah, there's some indication. You can see like some food floating by the table. There definitely looks like there have been people here.
No. We're in hard vacuum in here.
No. You're in
There's
zero gravity,
atmosphere.
but there is atmosphere.
There is atmosphere. So the food that's floating around, is it rotten?
No.
It still looks fresh?
Mhm.
Okay. Are the pods to the left over here? Is that what I'm seeing?
To the left, no, those are the doors and the life support section. Life support monitoring is down here.
Okay, we'll go over there.
Okay.
We'll look at the life support monitoring.
Okay. Everything's turned off.
Is there any way to turn it on from here?
Doesn't seem to be. Any screens that are active are just saying system lockdown.
Okay. Are there emergency medical procedures built into these systems that can override lockdowns in case of health or emergencies?
No. If the ship's under captain's lockdown, it's frozen.
Okay. All right. Where's the habitation pods?
Either to the east or to the west. It's a big circle.
What do you think? East or west?
She's not with you.
Yeah.
She left to go find the bodies.
Okay. East.
Okay. You start heading that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to go west.
That takes you past the conference areas over to the cryopods.
Yeah.
At least where the sections are. All of the cryopods, both here, and then there's some further ones to the south here.
Yeah.
That's the two sections. All appear to be unoccupied and empty at this point.
It's not my boss.
There's 2 actors there, by the way.
There's what?
2 actors there when it's over there.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was 2 people with him.
Oh, that was the medic, and then the medic left.
Oh, okay.
So I'm by myself.
So that'd be Bruno's
No,
gone.
Astra left to go check out the science place.
Oh, that's right.
What?
We split up in 19 teams.
That's right. You got a lot of them right now.
It's a big ship. That's
So
right
nobody's in any of these pods.
Correct. All the pods are empty.
Okay. And there were no backup power supplies or anything like that for these pods that might be still powering the pods?
No, they all seem deactivated at this point, just like the rest of the ship.
All right. And what's behind each of these doors? The living quarters?
Yeah, various living quarters.
I'll just start opening up living quarters doors.
Okay. You check a handful of them. Here and there, you find some that have been active, that have been used. Most of them are empty, just like the ones on your ship would be.
What's the name of this ship? This particular ship. Is there any, like,
Yeah, the Trifina.
placards? So we have a Trifina and a Trifina?
Yes,
Did he get teleported?
he did not.
Aliens gotcha. Sorry.
Must have. That was quick.
Press escape, or just click somewhere else on the board. Okay. He's by the pod still.
Okay.
So this is one of 2 habitat rings.
And this one looks completely empty.
As far as you can tell, yes, there's no inhabitants here at all.
Sorry, I didn't know where the other ring.
Okay. Meanwhile, we have the captain's gotten some body bags.
Yeah.
And are you heading down to engineering?
Yeah. I was
Okay.
there because that's all we got. We got to bag up these bodies.
Okay. In the labs, Yajendra reports that there's not really much different in the labs and workshops. There's a number of experiments that look like they were in mid-process that were abandoned. There is a console that's on full power, however, but it requires senior officer access to get in. He can't access it.
If you let me know what's that through comms then.
Yeah, he's letting you know through the radio. It's one of the science stations. Would require either the command science officer or the captain to be able to access it. He thinks maybe he might be able to bypass it and hack in, but he's an astrophysicist, not an engineer.
It's just easier to swing by there and
Sure.
give them access to it.
Okay.
See if it lets me.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. So you swing by there. Like I said, you're looking around. there's all sorts of different science experiments between plants and chemicals and things like that, most of which have grown out of control or whatever. They're well beyond whatever their state of the experiment would have been. He has a private console, like a tablet, that's currently on, and it's looking for an officer to bypass it because he doesn't have the personal code of whoever it is. It's labeled as the property of Specialist Priya Deer. You going to log into it?
Yeah. I'll go ahead.
Okay. You start scanning through it real quick, sharing the information with everybody else. Majority of the logs speak of experiments with bacteria in zero gravity and hostile environments. And then when you get to the end, the final log has a decidedly different tone. And you bring that up. Just a second. There you go.
So the motion sensor changes. Ah, load PDF. Gotta load it.
What? No, never mind. Cancel that.
Your tablet, like, you must load this.
Close that one.
Can I do an update?
Close that window. That was not what it was supposed to share. Okay. This one.
Update required to access this. Right.
Windows 614. It's been 50 years.
Well. Okay, let me try this again. That. Show players. Show. That showed the whole thing again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Close that. I'll just read it. Okay. That's not working. Personal log. Dated 9/24/47. Science specialist Priya Deer. I'm feeling rather uneasy about the direction this mission is taking. The crew is nervous and excited. I cannot say that I share these emotions. I have my suspicions. No, scratch that. I know for a certainty that we did not encounter this planetoid by accident. Secondary pilot Wang Ji Wan was in charge when we encountered the planetoid, and after investigations, I discovered a purposeful deviation in our flight path. It's almost as if he knew where to guide the Trofina. The crew is overly excited about what the team sent down in the Hella will find. I'm more concerned than excited, and will reveal my worries to Captain Holzel once our duty shifts coincide.
What's the name of our spaceship?
The Persis.
The Persis. It's not the Hella.
Correct.
From like number 40 of all ships. All right. I will continue down to the engine room.
Okay.
If the astrophysicist is done here, he can come with us if he's interested in staying.
He'll follow along.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll take the tablet with us.
Okay. You guys head down to where he is, waiting for direction. Yeah, there's 3 bodies.
All right. I'm going to search the bodies for key cards, access stuff.
They have nothing. From their gear, they appear to be engineers.
Gotcha. And you have no idea how they died.
Badly bruised, unable to determine by the bruising how long ago it was they died.
Probably got in a fist fight.
That's right. Protocol says we have to tag them, and take them with us. So I'm gonna put them in those airlock baggies.
Put him in a Ziploc.
Dang, I can't get these two to line up. This is ridiculous. High quality stuff. Give me the double lock, so the zipper.
Yeah, it has the zipper that slides up.
That's right. Put them in the bags, and we'll move them out of the room
Into the hallway.
into the hallway behind.
Okay.
So your plan could possibly lock you in there by yourself. Are you sufficiently confident you
Well,
can?
is there a way to get power on manually? Well, not manually, remotely.
Yes, by unlocking the bridge.
Right.
Okay, so
we should probably find him first.
Right. If Holtz is here on the building, because according to what we think, they had a exploratory ship to the surface, and I want to say Fergus. His name's not Fergus. Rudolph said that there's a crash site on the planet that he found. So I'm thinking Holtz could be there if we don't find his buddy. Yeah. So yeah, I think we should hold off trying to open up the exterior of the ship currently.
Was the when we were approaching the ship, it was completely stationary, correct? No rotation at all.
Correct.
Was there any damage to the exterior of the ship?
None that anybody noted.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we need to take these bodies back to our ship, and then try to see if we can collect anybody else or find anybody else on here.
Okay.
He said he was in the
He's checking out the habitats.
habitats.
Yeah.
So cargo bay is not accessible because of the engine room.
No, the engine compartments are not accessible.
That's what's beyond.
Correct.
Back
The
towards
cargo
front.
cargo bays have already
Is
passed.
the tablet fully charged?
It is charged. I mean, batteries 30 years from now last a whole lot longer than they do today.
It's a nuclear powered.
Yeah.
Um,
Has a mini nuke as a battery.
Okay.
One of those pen light nukes.
We should roll through the cargo bays to see if what they had found, what they had brought on board. If she was concerned about experiments that they were doing and the reason why they were here, I feel the same way. Because our ship made the same type of detour. Yeah, let's see what they took on board in cargo. If they took anything on board from the planet.
Okay. So you're gonna go ahead to the cargo bay.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, you head down to the other spin habitat. Give me a spot hidden roll.
Like, spot hidden roll. Oh, hold on. Spot hidden roll?
Yes. Yeah, like a spot hidden roll.
Yeah.
As the Yeti eats you. Okay.
Yeah, not even close.
Okay. So yeah, you wander through that. I mean, it's a big place. You're the first to admit you'd probably have missed some things.
Oh yeah.
But after searching both habitats, between the zero gravity and the size of them, a couple hours go by. Yeah, you haven't found anything of note. They all appear to be empty.
And my motion detector never goes off. Nothing
No,
like that.
no indications of anything here. I mean, every now and then you get a false positive from the group, from other people moving around, but there's
Angel
nothing
fixes
there.
that pretty quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The Angel, as soon as it recognizes who's there, it filters those readings out. You guys head to the cargo bays. The pods are all there. Checking through the inventory, one of the pods seems to be emptier than expected. From the manifest that's listed there, it looks like closest you could come up with is like construction equipment. Power lifters, cranes, winches, spotlights, things like that. Those all appear to have been taken and used or gone elsewhere. There's nothing extra in any of the cargo bays that you're finding.
I'm going to open up the comm to Rudolph and ask whether the scientists were successful in splitting up that signal.
No, we can't make any heads or tails of it. That and everybody's saying that they just get a headache when they listen to it. Couple of them are refusing at this point. It just sounds weird.
All right. We'll be heading back shortly.
Now, whatever it is, it seems to be emanating from the poles of the planet, the North Pole and the South Pole.
And you said the crash landing site was on the western side,
Yeah, Western Hemisphere.
not near the poles.
So does our ship have like a? It's gonna sound strange, but like a big telescope to see like on the surface of the planet.
It has sensors and abilities, but it can't see that much detail.
Okay.
Got a telescope.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
the
you're.
thing is we could like fly to like the north pole of the thing and scan down, see what's there.
Yeah, your big ship won't really be able to do that, but your shuttle certainly could.
Okay.
Right. There are magnetic forces at most poles and most planets, though. Hate to crash land because we got too close to them.
Oh, suddenly now you know space.
He's been researching it, and his mind's been waking up from the
Yeah,
cryopods.
That's
I
right.
think he's not real.
Okay, so you guys have spent maybe 4 or 5 hours on the ship. To all intents and purposes, it's empty. He reports he searched both habitat rings and didn't find a thing. You guys searched the rest of the areas, didn't find anything.
Okay. We'll weld the bodies into the lockdown chamber.
You guys found bodies?
Yeah, 3 bodies.
What happened to them? Who were they?
Bruised. They were
Couple
Bradley,
engineers.
Yo, and Lane Gang.
What? We look at me for
What was the weird look you just gave me?
nothing. None yet.
I'm sorry. I must forgive.
Got Brady, Yo, and Lane Gang. I'm assuming I wrote those down right. I did say beard fat, so.
Yep.
Beard fat. And they just look like they got beat up.
They have
But-
lots of bruising on them, but
Not decompression bruising or anything like that, right?
I was unable to determine much more than just bruising.
I'll walk over and open it up, take a look.
Okay, give me a medicine roll.
See, they got in a fist fight. And then one of them, and then one of them tripped over the airlock button. You know?
Okay,
Airlock
you don't have
was
any
shut.
medicine? You have. Okay, well then, yeah, you don't have any medical training.
Get it. Get your one.
You
That
got.
would've been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What was
He's like, yep.
Wait, there's clearly a knife in this man's chest.
He has no medical training.
1%.
But I have first aid, so
You have to roll a 1.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
like,
know.
oh yes, it's by one thing I paid attention in health class.
That's right.
Yeah.
Captain, I really must protest. Guidance specifically says that bodies that are that we can't figure out why, how they died have to be quarantined, and we have untrained personnel opening these bags again.
He claimed he was
Exposing us to
trained.
them again.
He claimed he was trained.
He very clearly said, "Enough of this, doctor. I'll check."
I'm
Rip
a
it
scientist,
open.
not a doctor, damn it.
Technically, I'm her supervisor.
That may be.
And then we'll zip them back up.
Okay.
And keep them all. Drop them in the, I don't know, the jailhouse.
Yeah. I mean,
Lockdown chamber.
there's a couple of security chambers in the shuttle, specifically for quarantine, etc.
Jailhouse.
In case there's zombies.
Yep. And they'll stay in there when we get back to our ship. We're not taking those bodies on there because that's against protocol.
We're flying around there and they're just banging around.
We gotta have some.
I wonder why they're all bruised up.
The new motion sensor.
And then we've done everything we can here until we find Holtz's card. We can't reactivate the ship, so.
So where's Holtz?
Well, on the tablet that we found.
You can't bypass the security codes?
Without locking myself into the area and without actually seeing the generator, I don't know how long it's going to take.
Says the junior engineer.
I'll call over to the head engineer.
Okay, the one who actually knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Department head to department head.
Uh-huh.
Hey, is there any way to bypass a captain's code on a ship?
Not that he's aware of. I mean, he might be able to jury rig and get the engine running, but he can't activate systems without the commander's code.
Let's go find Holtz. Or what's his name?
Well, Holtzel, they said that they were headed to the surface. They were taking a ship that was named differently than ours, which is odd. If that's supposedly the same ship, you would think their shuttle would be.
Maybe it's like a global brand name, and then they just named their shuttles.
It's a Tesla 4,
Yeah.
6, versus. I need to go back to the ship first, I think, and
You can form it.
well, check on the crew first. They all seem to be a little
There we just hear screams.
blood splattered everywhere, lights going out. Yeah.
We go
To,
out there. He reloads the same map.
recharge the suits and so we can have full air because the surface isn't breathable either.
Oh, great.
So we want to make sure we get full oxygen tanks.
Yeah, take some spares with us too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So head back to the ship.
Yep.
Okay. You guys head over there. Fairly uneventful. You get back there. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna go and talk to Rudolph.
Okay.
Leaving the body specifically on the shuttle.
Okay. You're not bringing them in?
No.
Okay. A couple of the scientists are very eager to take a look at them.
Are they real scientists?
Yes. Some of them are real scientists. I believe...
Real medical training?
We have human biology, which is there. We have just general biology and exobiology. The meteorologists don't care. There's physics and astronomy, which don't really care. They're kind of interested to hear about what you guys found. But the biologists and exobiologists take a look. You can give me 2 more rolls with let's say a 40 skill for each. I assume your medicine was higher than that.
You want a percentage roll or just the
Percentage roll less than 40.
19?
Okay. So amongst them, the conclusion that the 3 of you come to is, they suffered some sort of explosive decompression. That's why they have bruises on literally every inch of their body, rather than just like fist fight bruises that would be more localized.
Ooh, that's kind of awful.
Well, if they've identified it, then
Those are really
these
bad
bodies
fist
can
fight.
come out of quarantine. We don't have to keep them there.
Okay.
See, let me make sure. Cause of death is apparent, so that would be an accident, or murder, or suicide. Yeah, so if that covers all 3. So if it was an accident, that's fine. If it's a murder, somebody opened decompressed them, okay, fine. And if it's a suicide, well, one of them just didn't like it, decompressed the body. So,
It's very straightforward, Captain.
yeah, honestly, according to our protocols, just push them out into space, I guess. Yeah, watch them bounce around the orbit of our ship. Just keep bouncing.
That's not what it says.
That's exactly what it
That's
says.
not what it says.
Should a dead body be discovered, it should be treated with care and stored in a quarantine area. If
That
cause
sounds
of,
like you're treating it with care.
if
Push
cause
it
of
out.
death is apparent, quarantine is unnecessary, but the body should be secured in an airtight body bag. We did that, but it doesn't say it's got to stay in the ship. We can move it. It's got to be in the body bag.
It said treated with care.
Yeah,
Store.
yeah, it's not going to
It's
run.
called a funeral. We
Right.
salute them and send them out there
Right.
alive.
But you-
Everything we find is property of the company. That includes their bodies. They have to go back.
Well,
Does that include your body?
It doesn't.
Includes yours.
It only says if it's an extraterrestrial, then it has to come back. But we don't need people corpses. It just says it has
It's
to be
not real.
secured in an airtight body bag. I'm following right to the letter.
Should remnants of the outpost or civilization be discovered, everything including
everybody brings up their contract.
architecture, weapons, and corpses.
Right.
Oh,
on
the
the
extraterrestrials.
Yeah, that's not us. They don't care about our bodies. They already know what we're made
Well,
of.
with the way the med tech is rolling, maybe they are human.
They
Maybe
they might not be.
Decades.
Oh man.
I'm a doctor. I'm a med tech. Thank you.
That's doctor.
Dr. Medtech to you.
You were making friends with all of them.
This is all nonsense. There's no reason to throw these bodies out unless the captain says to.
Right. Which is exactly what the captain did.
Said to.
Right. If they're
So I guess the bodies are going out.
Well, if it matters at all, part of Angel's purpose is not only to give advice, but she also records everything as well.
I was just about to say,
Right.
I'm going to start taking pictures of the bodies before we
That-
document it.
all the cameras and everything else from your suits and everything, it's all been documented. I mean, whatever you guys end up doing, she records it all. That's the black. That's the black
Should
box.
we just ask Angel if it's protocol to keep him?
I'm reading protocol. I've read protocol letter for letter. I'm
How
doing
dare
exactly
you
what it
question the
says.
captain's decision?
No one,
Very confusing character.
no one can pick up my little brother except for me. How many bodies can we stuff in these security walls building?
You
We
could,
won't know till
you
we
could,
start stuffing
you
something
could
in.
probably put 6 or 7 in each one,
okay.
if you really had to. I mean, it's like a cell. I mean, it's like a 10 by 10 room or so. It's
All right, co-pilot. That
That'd
makes
be
sense.
like
Until,
50
unless we have
bodies.
another
You-
name for it, we'll just keep
if
the
you
bodies
really had to
until
squeeze, yes, you could put a whole lot of bodies in there.
If you puree them.
I mean,
then- Decompression takes care of that for you.
the idea is a matter of, I mean, how you would want to be treated if you were found dead, type thing. Okay, if your decision
Well,
is
I'm
tossing,
captain.
right, but if your idea is okay, let's eject them into space and save on the fuel, great. If there's other purposes, then do whatever you want with them.
Oh, well, I mean, as long as we have space, room, well, we have lots of space all the way around us. But if as long as there's
You got-
room in those cells, then we'll just
In-
keep stacking bodies unless we need
In
to.
the quarantine section, yeah, there's plenty of room.
Yeah, unless we need to like quarantine a person, I'm not going to quarantine a person and a bunch of body bags. With a bunch
Well,
of
there's
body
2
bags.
quarantine rooms.
Right. So living and dead. is
Yeah,
all I
sure.
have For now. Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
Okay, so reload all of our stuff.
Well, you refill your tanks.
Extra oxygen. So, with this being the planet it is, there's not a, and you said there's not a sun nearby, so we're not getting like daylight on the surface or anything like that.
Do we have like
Right.
moon rovers?
Moon rovers? No.
We do have, but I'm assuming we have the same type of construction equipment that was missing from the other one.
Sure.
Okay, we'll go down there and see if I can find. Probably not gonna find like a Ridley's construction robot.
Yeah, those are the power
Yeah,
lifters.
will that fit right inside the?
Swear to God,
The
I thought
shuttle?
it said
Yeah.
construction.
I mean, you can load them up, certainly.
Yeah, I'm just thinking taking something to the surface with
Yeah,
us that we can
absolutely.
use.
I say bring some mechs.
Yeah, we got more than one down there.
Bring
Yeah,
some-
there's a
did you
there's a
say that?
there's a dozen.
Okay. How many
I mean-
can we fit in the shuttle?
You could probably put 8 in the cargo bay of the shuttle if you really wanted them. I mean, they're construction
Right.
power suits.
Right.
Okay,
Strength wise, can
they're very
lift
strong.
things?
Yeah, they're very good at moving crates and things like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
Well, we may need to, if there's a crash site, we might need to move debris and stuff like that, so it's not a bad idea.
and then because there isn't any subject light source, I want to grab as many of the large light source canisters.
Okay.
Spotlights.
Yeah.
Man, yes, hold on, I'm gonna do a mental check. Yeah, my mental.
Sanity is totally degraded on him automatically. You grab a handful of spotlights and some.
See, he starts at a higher sanity, but he has sanity. He takes drain, it's the same sanity.
You would think that I
automatically.
have no intelligence, but that is not the case either. I have great intelligence as a character.
Slap him.
Wake
Real
up!
life, no intelligence.
It's still the
Would you like some
crime
coffee, Captain?
Snark, Lionel.
Okay.
Yeah, and some spotlights.
Okay. So you grab a handful of the tripods.
Yep. I'm gonna contact the engineer and tell him that we need him.
Okay.
This guy is
No good.
sad.
Yeah. Let's get a real engineer.
He was willing to sacrifice himself and just open up doors and decompressing the entire ship up there. And
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah. So it'll take the engineers about 6 hours to load the power lifters onto the shuttle.
Okay.
What would you like to do in the meantime?
Everybody get some rest. I don't
You've been sleeping for 10 years.
Yeah.
None of you really seem tired.
I'm gonna go down to the science lab
Okay.
and start working on trying to decode or figure out the message.
I'll
Okay.
give you that. I'll give you the tablet.
Okay.
Maybe you can find some of the experiments and stuff that she was working on
Absolutely.
there.
Okay.
So I'll open it, make sure he's got access. And
So what's our goal, Captain?
go down and explore the crash site or the landing site. We're not quite sure if it's a crash site. Probably is, but and when we get down there, see if we can find Holtz's, at least his badge, if not the rest of his body. Maybe he's alive down there with a big giant beard.
It's been 9 years.
Right.
He's
And,
in the same spacesuit, so like the beard, like.
Yeah, just
You open up the visor and the beard goes poof.
just one cousin eye, just
We think he's an extraterrestrial.
Oh, God.
kill it. It's Bigfoot. Yeah, they. If we can find his key card at least, then we can get the other ship up and running, and then we'll have a secondary ship to
I'd like to know what happened.
see if we get. Yeah, and that's how we can't get access to the records or logs or anything like that until.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that shit that we found. So how
Could
were
be.
there? Why were there several people that were dead from explosive decompression?
Because there was explosive decompression and an automatic.
That door.
Oh,
doors
was there?
automatically
I missed that
crash.
fact. I'm sorry.
Well, yes, but
they weren't in that section.
the physics guys explained to you that they wouldn't have been in that section. Otherwise, they would have been sucked out into space.
What if it was reverse decompression?
That would be compression, not decompression.
I'm not a scientist.
That's why he's the captain.
Yeah.
So the question would be, how were they subject to explosive decompression when they were in a sealed area?
Yeah. That's-
Could we hack the database? Like
Free
bypass it?
planet. I think like the remote lockdown is probably like the highest level of lockdown if it's straight captain.
Yeah.
I don't see that hacking.
Did you try your codes on the other ship?
There's no place to put in codes because of the lockdown.
Yeah, you need the key
It just
code,
says,
key card.
hey, key card needed. The end.
It's not a very good system.
Kept you out.
And like I commented, it's a really big ship.
Right.
You had like one person searching 50,000 rooms
Yeah.
and so forth. There's probably a lot of stuff you may not have spotted on the other ship. I mean, all of you can fairly easily conclude you did not do a thorough search of that ship. Not to say there isn't anything there, because everything appeared to be dead and empty.
So do we go to the surface? Do we go back to the ship and search?
You got 6 hours until the
So the things are
power lifters are ready.
And we can't take the ship over anyway because they're loading it.
You could. They have to get the power lifters ready.
Oh. I will.
I mean, they've been stored. It's going to take several hours to get them outfitted and ready to operational.
I say we stay on the safety of the ship and just scan the planet.
Did you just get British all of a sudden?
Yeah. German British.
The German engineer does British.
Cheerio 9. I just realized that I'm a female.
No.
Oh,
I think there's
my
a
sheet
male
says
and a
Jose, and then it says female. I'm like, oh, it's over here. I'm like, okay, I'm
No, I
just didn't get it.
I missed some of the entries.
I just looked down and stopped me. Like, oh. Well, apparently, Brad. Okay. Well, are you staying to try to decode the whatever they're Franz? I don't want to say.
Well, I'd like to go with you guys, but you guys, 6 hours, is that enough to only spend in the 6 hours working on the signal?
Well, the other scientists are working on it as well.
Okay.
I mean, you could leave it in their hands.
As long as there's still some that are willing to do it.
Yeah, I'll go with
Yeah,
this.
I mean, they're working on it. A couple of them are disturbed by it. They feel like I mean, it. You get the sense that the scientists get overly frustrated quickly with it, like it grates on them. They don't seem to have any sense of it. From their statement, it appears the best they conclude is there is some sort of pattern to it.
Right.
It feels like an artificial signal, but they can't decipher whatever it is.
Okay.
It's overriding the radio waves in this area with immense power, which would indicate that it would be a long-range signal because of the attenuation of it. But it's not being broadcast in a particular direction. It's just being sent out.
So it's not possible that it's the naturally occurring magnetic signals that come from the polar regions of.
No,
Polarized
yeah, it
planets.
has nothing to do with that. This seems to be a non-natural phenomenon. Some of them think it might be a language, it might be some sort of communication,
Fair enough.
it might just be some sort of background noise potentially, but none that they've ever seen. And it doesn't match any language or pattern that they're aware of.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. I'll go with you guys.
When Priadir put on their entry 92447, is that a year?
Yes.
Like 92,447?
No.
Or the year 924?
47 would be the year.
Oh, so
2047.
3 years prior to us.
Yes,
2047.
4 years.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense then. like
From the future!
This long past.
Does the log talk about what they're they're experimenting with zero bacteria or whatever, but does
Right.
it detail what the other crews were excited about in the log?
The only thing they said about they were excited about Wayne Jinwan's plan to go to the surface.
Right. The log again says that she was feeling rather uneasy about the direction this mission is taking. The crew is nervous and excited. I cannot say that I share these emotions. I have my suspicions. No, scratch that. I know for a certainty that we did not encounter this planetoid by accident. Secondary pilot Wang Jiwan was in charge when we encountered the planetoid, and after investigations, I discovered a purposeful deviation in our flight path. It's almost as if he knew where to guide the Trafina. The crew is overly excited about what the team sent down in the Hela will find. I'm more concerned than excited, and will reveal my worries to Captain Holzel once our duty shifts coincide.
Now, have you made that knowledge
Yeah.
to everybody?
Yeah.
Isn't this the exact same situation we're in, where the ship diverted off of its normal course
Yes.
and ended up here?
But we don't know why. No one was awake at that time. Like she's saying
so she's
that.
detailing
the
like
secondary-
Holzer's on the boat still.
So my thought is maybe.
Yeah, what she's referring to once their duty shifts coincide, for a ship of this size, when you guys are awake and actually on mission, you would be in a 8-hour or 12-hour shift doing experiments. That's why there's a couple of scientists for each side,
Yeah.
where one biologist would do the experiment during the day, the other one would do it at night.
Well, yes,
So
I was more thinking of, does it detail like the away mission already left and Holzer's still on the boat, or is it more of
it's just what's in the log.
okay?
You-
Because it sounds more like Holzer was still on the boat and the expedition went down there
Gotcha.
when the thing
Yeah.
is, so he could.
And my thought is that the Wayne G1 was the pilot. Now I'm questioning if Rudolph was awake before us and made that change. Because he's the first pilot as well. If he was set to wake up to make that direction change while we were unconscious and then go back to
And
sleep.
it's December.
Can you guys? Yes, it's December. The snow's falling.
Well, you'll be able to look in the log.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I was able to see that it changed, but it didn't say specifically who changed the direction, right?
According to the logs, when you read it, the ship had received a signal from the Galilee Heavy Industries, and the automated piloting changed its course. Right.
Could've made it a
Effectively, the ship received, according to the logs,
Yeah.
the ship received a signal and Angel changed the course.
Yeah.
Could have changed the logs also.
Sure.
Angels turned into hell here too. Now I'm getting suspicious there, buddy.
I don't think we have anything really. Well, we have a lot of things. I'd say the only first option is go down to the planet. I would think.
Or go back to the ship and do
I would think.
a thorough search.
I would think go back to the ship with more people and do a thorough search of the boat.
Okay, I'm okay with that. It's gonna take
Still can't
multiple
figure out
trips
where the
though,
boat
because
is
we have
that
what,
you're
like
talking
20
about.
people.
You got the total crew of the Trifina is 16.
16.
Now,
okay.
standard policy is you have to leave at least one pilot.
Well, right.
It's somebody with command authority on the ship.
I can stay.
Well, Rudolph can stay. I mean, that's not a problem. He can stay.
Unless he's part of the problem.
Well, he stays, and we don't take everybody with us, but we could take a larger group with us.
What would be the point?
To find more information.
I want to find Holtz's.
We hit the key areas, correct?
Well, he made a good point. Holtz's body, or didn't say anything about. I thought it said something about Holtz going down to the surface. It does not, which is a good choice. He wasn't necessarily going to leave the ship. There was a.
It
group
kind
going
of
down to the
details
surface.
that like the expedition went down, and she had suspicions about the expedition. Was going to talk to the captain when they met. So it's like they were still on the ship. So I think we maybe missed him.
We may have missed him. My concerns about going down to the surface is it's already been proven to be dangerous.
Well, for someone that's a terrible pilot,
We don't know if he was a terrible pilot.
I'm assuming he was. He crashed.
I think it's an unnecessary risk to send our people into like a known hazard, right? Without more information, more detailed scans. I think maybe going over and getting some more information from the other ship is a good idea before we ever go down to the planet.
Yeah, I mean, if I can
That
get,
at this point should almost be the last option.
I mean,
And I'm kind of leery about sending people back over to the other ship. Why can't?
there wasn't anything wrong with the other ship other than that one section. And if we bring our main engineer, then we might be able to figure out. If we find Holtz's card, honestly, then we can unlock everything and get everything back up and running. We
Okay,
can get
well,
all many
But if the
answers.
ship crashed, what are the odds of us finding
No, I'm talking about the ship, not the
shuttle?
Yeah, not the shuttle.
the ship.
So you still think his body might be on the ship?
Yeah.
Because how the log or whatever was making it implying that he was still on the ship and the expedition already went down, and we're currently
It's a massive
investigating.
ship.
Okay, okay.
I feel like
I
if
mean-
all of us are like, if we take,
Mechanically, if the crew, the 6 of you,
Yeah.
or the 5 of you, the command crew,
Yeah.
for lack of a better description, those of you, in the 5 or 6 hours you have waiting for them to get the load lifters ready, that would be enough time to do a thorough search of the ship. Working together, searching the place top to bottom, etc., if you wanted to do that.
Yes.
Okay. It's a big ship, and previously it was everybody scattered, everybody took on different
Right.
sections. You wandered around 2 big crew habitats by yourself. You obviously were not going to catch everything.
No, I get that. I'm really afraid we're going to end up getting somebody hurt unnecessarily.
Entirely.
yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, if we're piloting, I totally understand we'll be okay. And if I'm there,
I want to have a game plan before we.
But yeah,
proceed.
having the most information possible, 100% I'm with you.
Okay.
So let's go to the other, while we got time, let's go do a thorough search of the other place, see if we can find some more bodies.
Okay, everybody should take an extra canister. Leave it on the ship if necessary, on the shuttle.
Of air. Yeah.
Air,
yeah.
yeah.
There's spare canisters on the shuttle. That's not the issue. Your suit fits 2. It's not really productive to carry a third one, but
I
yeah.
feel you. I just.
So it gives you 10 hours of air, and you'd estimate 5 hours probably to search the ship. Now, if you could get the systems online, that would certainly be better.
Right. Makes
But
it easier, lights, even.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys going to split up, or stick together, or how do you want to do it?
I think
Stick together.
sticking together and just actively. That way we know we've hit every section.
Okay. Just work your way from what, engineering up or top to bottom.
Top to bottom, and work all the way to the back.
Okay.
Or yeah, top to bottom makes sense.
Tip the
Yeah.
butt.
Okay.
Right,
Everybody give me a spot hidden roll.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Matter of fact, fact, I think I forgot to even get on the shuttle.
Okay.
I rolled a 99.
Now, if it matters, don't forget you can spend luck as a base mechanic. So your luck in Cthulhu operates sort of like hero points, but there's no randomness to it. If you're close to a success, you just spend the difference and it comes off your luck and you succeed.
So if you're 10 off,
You just pay 10 points. Now, if you got a 25 skill and you roll at 80, that's a lot of luck to burn. But if you're close, that's the point when you do it. Yeah.
I got 6.
You got a 6. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Why we
hey,
have the medic?
guys, were you looking for this car? It's right here at the entrance.
It's a
No.
computer.
You
On
don't.
a
Yeah.
sticky note, if
You don't
it's
spot.
abandoned, use this.
You don't spot a card, but while you got about halfway through or probably 2/3 of your way through the search, about 4 hours in, you guys are on the second spin habitat and heading down one of the areas, checking the various rooms and everything, and you find what appears to be bloody marks on the hatch console for spoke B, which is one of the hallways that goes into the center tunnel. Okay, the wheel itself looks like it has blood on it. Okay, there is a blood trail that leads from it to the spin habitat, and the blood trail leads to the 4th room down from the storage to one of the rooms that has a little badge on it that says Priya Deer. Okay, now this one's notable. Here and there, you've spotted different rooms that had a badge that had different names and everything for different crew members. This one's notably away from everybody else. Like if they took other rooms, it's like this room that she selected, or at least where her badge is like down another hallway all by herself. Okay, the blood trail leads up to it, and there's indication that there's blood on the door and around the activator for it. However, when you try to open it, there's a popping sound from the mechanism. It appears to be damaged in some form.
Can I try to figure out what the damage is?
Sure, you can make an electrical repair roll.
I got straight 50 on my skill. That's equal.
So okay, so you tied it.
Yep.
Okay. You pull out your tools and fiddle around with it for a moment, and then manage to fix the short circuit or whatever on it. The door opens up. Inside, you find a female corpse floating in the cabin. Startles most of you. So give me a sanity roll.
I'm losing more sanity.
We have to roll under our sanity?
Yeah, under or equal.
Listen, dude, there's gonna be bodies.
That's right. 2 more points of sanity
That's
if you
the
didn't.
percentage.
Yes, percentage less than or equal to your sanity. 2 points if you don't make it.
Yep.
I'm going down 2 points with you.
Okay, everybody's kind of spooked out. It's been a long time in this ship, and the cryo freeze is starting to wear off. Everybody's really attuned now.
Strange noises.
You not only is the body floating in the air, there is a small cloud of red droplets floating near her, and it looks like her throat has been slit.
That's murder. Put that in a bag, too.
Accidental.
Pull out a bag.
Don't use that first.
Hey,
It's my
got
pocket
suicide-
money bag.
It's got suicide in.
I pull out another Ziploc.
There appeared to be a
Use that
weapon that
first.
she slit her own throat with, or
No, there's no weapons nearby.
I would say it was not intentional.
The ID tag on the uniform and the photograph identifies her as Priya Deer.
That's the one from the wall, correct?
Yeah,
What was her rank? What was her position?
she's a scientist. No, it's the personal entry one we were looking at it. So.
According to her tag, she was a science specialist in exobiology.
Backtrack the blood
Okay.
to see if we can find, or I'm going to backtrack and see if I can find the origin.
It starts at the hatchway into the sleep habitat or habitat.
I'm gonna search a room,
Okay.
see if there's anything in here that. Nothing
Just
hidden.
looks like normal things.
Is there any prints on the like human
There,
prints?
no, there's blood stains, presumably from her. You haven't seen anything else that's bleeding.
What was the damage on the door? Was it like? Everything else has seemed undamaged.
It looks like there was something stabbed into the console or the activation, the button where you would push it to open up the door. It looks like there was something like jammed into it, something sharp and hard
Was that from the outside or the inside?
from the outside.
Okay.
So the only person
So
who
we
was
walk.
questioning what was going on
Got their throats.
got their throat slit and then locked in their room.
Okay, one more question about this.
Got an eye up our captain now.
When her throat was slit, presumably,
Mhm.
does the Dexter pattern on the walls imply that it was during 0G, or was the ship fully functional and this habitat rotating when it happened?
It appears. Give me a physics roll
Okay.
or science roll.
Okay. Science. I'm a physics.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. I actually, yeah.
Pretty. I mean, there is stains of blood on the wall, but you're pretty certain this happened during zero gravity.
Okay. Guys, this happened while the ship was dead. So, somebody may have done this recently. Does this look recently? Has this blood has the blood dried up, turned brown, and started flaking off?
No, no. But yeah, I mean, there's no oxygen in the place, so I don't know the true science personally.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like it is recent, but it also doesn't look like it's ancient either,
Okay,
I
fair
guess.
Just leave that.
Yeah.
The where she had her throat slit, did it look like it was done by a bladed weapon, or was
Yes.
it like ragged monster claws?
Some sort of there's a large red slit across her throat.
But we have a professional medic here. How'd she die?
Slit throat.
There we
Blood
go.
loss. Oh, okay.
She drowned. Medic rolls another 99. Sunburn.
That was 0-3.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's disturbing. So we'll bag her up.
Does it look like she has any marks that she battled anybody? Like
There's
flesh
nothing.
under her fingernails or?
No, doesn't look like anything like that.
Is it like a personal quarters that we're in? Like
Yes.
Bed and stuff?
Yes,
Okay. Is there a mattress?
Is there blood on the bed?
there is a mattress.
Can I lift up the mattress and see if there's anything hidden?
Yes, and no, there's nothing hidden under the mattress.
Money. I guess continue our search of the.
Okay.
I mean, is there like any desks or anything in the room?
There's. It's just a very small place. Let me give you the basic layout of them is very similar to yours. So if you scroll down to the habitat area, I mean, there's a couple of dozen of those rooms.
Okay.
They're all basically the same. There's a small work table, end table, and a bed.
Okay.
This room is no different than the rest, and there's dozens of these rooms on the
so there's
on
like-
the spin
there's
habitat.
Like no storage place.
There's
at
a
all?
small storage place for personal effects and things like that. This appears to be the quarters that she selected, because there are personal effects in there, pictures of family and other things like that. Nothing else of particular note that jumps out at you, though.
Did we check her pockets?
No. I haven't really searched her or.
No,
the
just
room.
put her in a Ziploc.
Looked at her bag.
Yeah, let's search her see if she's got like thumb drive or something on her.
Okay, no, she.
Immediately back everybody up. And they're searching for evidence.
Throw him out into space. Yep, throw him out in space. We don't need anything.
Quick, throw him out. No, there's nothing else.
Follow the protocol.
Are the tablets, are those like key code, or is it like thumbprint?
The tablet.
Yeah.
Um,
When it was asking for like a commander override.
earlier you can override it with a command with your captain's code.
Right, but
Okay.
like, are they locked with like fingerprints? Like, should I be taking fingers? At
No.
this point?
No.
I was thinking the same thing.
I mean, if we need them, I mean,
No.
throw them in a bag and see which ones work. I guess. We need
You're gonna try and like bring a key.
No, even worse. It's got face on it. We'll just put faces up.
Again, the co-pilot pulls out the contract.
It doesn't say anything about breaking their faces.
Treated with care.
Right.
I feel like
That's if it needs to be quarantined. If the death is apparent, accident, murder, or suicide, it's unnecessary. It just needs to be
Recording all
secured in a
this,
bag. I
and then
keep
the
securing it in
company's
the bag.
looking
Everybody
back.
keeps opening
It's
back
like, why
up.
did we hire this crew?
I've seen my share of blood in the years.
Speaking of baggies, does anyone in this group know my history? Or is it
No.
okay?
Speaking
Is
of
this
baggies,
something
wait a minute. Are you holding it? Is she holding right now? Like,
Like little baggies or
Yeah,
body
yeah.
baggies? No, nobody knows anything more than I gave them on their character sheet. So some may not. Most of the cryo sickness made all your shorter term memory wiped.
get done with the body.
I guess.
You know, poking proud enough. All right, bag it up. It's bagged up, and we'll keep searching
Okay.
the ship.
Other than that, you don't find anything else on the ship. Although again, you're still not able to access the engineering section.
We have an expert engineer now.
You do, although he still can't solve the problem of vacuum.
So,
Oh, that's true.
engineer,
Not at that level yet.
engineer. I would take him to where that section is.
Yes.
This is where we found the bodies with the decompression bruising.
Okay.
Decompression, yeah, not compression. How would a body get that? Well, how could decompression happen in a room where it's not decompressed? Like, how could they get from that room to here? Any idea?
Any idea?
Any idea?
Float it. Or maybe like the
That
door.
sounds sciencey.
Or maybe the door was delayed.
Was delayed,
Yeah.
but wouldn't that pull them
Well,
that way?
well, not if they were going towards the engineering room.
Ah, and the door slammed shut.
Yeah.
Yes.
The door was extra delayed. I know, I'm not a physicist.
Where's
Question.
our physicist?
I'm kind of a nerd.
Do you have an answer for the decompression?
Me and Eddie
There's a couple different theories. I was sitting here thinking about it as you guys were talking. You could crack a door open to space, or use a ventilation to expose people, have them have the expulsion decompression, and still be in the room, and not get blown out into space. They might go slamming into a door or something, or a vent, but we didn't do that thorough of a search to see if maybe that's what happened. I mean, I hate to ask this question, but does the Angel, I'm gonna ask Angel, do you have the authority or the capability to decompress a room while somebody is in it?
Of course not. First law is to not do any harm to people.
Oh, I thought that was robots. I didn't know. Yeah, I got that too. Nice. That's good.
Now, in theory, somebody could
She's
have
always-
bypassed her, or
Well, we don't know if Angel's able to
if that's the theory.
If they actively had to have a co-captain or co-pilot actively get up and change the direction of the
ship,
it wasn't a signal from home like ours was. Maybe they didn't have Angel because Angel did it for us.
Are you positing that they were on a mission, saw the planet, or got the signal, came over here, let the corporation know, and then the corporation diverted us? Is that the theory?
We are 3 years behind them.
Right, which would have been enough time for the signal to get back.
Right.
Have them send the signal back and divert us, because we're how many light years away from Earth?
10 years?
We're just 10 regular
We're not
years.
10 light years away.
No.
No, you're not traveling at light speed.
I understand that. That's why I asked how many,
Yeah,
how many light years we're away. Because
you
that
don't
would
know.
Give us an idea of.
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't have any reference for that.
So can you recompress a room once it's been decompressed?
Yes.
If
If the doors are sealed and there's no hole, yes.
There's a hole on the outside of the.
According to the sensors, the room beyond the last airlock is decompressed.
Well, that's
Okay.
easy to figure out. We do a spacewalk
Sure.
to go out and examine it from the
Yes.
exterior of the ship.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't
Well,
go
that's
through.
why
We
I
go
asked-
out. We go
that's-
the outside. We go on the
That's
inside.
why I asked when we were coming in whether or not there was any damage there.
There's no
Because,
visible
there's
damage
no
from the
visible-
outside.
There's no visible
But
damage.
we might be able to find out if there's a hatch open or something,
Sure.
or
Okay.
yeah, or maybe some evidence that it was.
And your pilot should be able to get the shuttle close enough that a short spacewalk across the void
Let's do that.
will get you there.
And we'll go through the cargo hold so you can get whatever tools you need, so we don't have to go back over to the other ship to get them. They should have repair tools here for you.
Okay.
So we'll swing by there and then we'll get your pilot.
Nobody should walk. We'll do spacewalks by themselves. We should always have somebody paired
Well,
up.
the physicist goes with the engineer.
Yeah. Because you know which way to jump.
That's fine. I'm actually happy to be sitting. I've got some pretty decent training in zero G. That's fine.
Yeah, we got extras.
Hey, my uniform is on red.
It will be when it's covered in blood.
What's your patch?
What? Which one?
No, the other one, the flag.
I just went with the red and blue.
Uh-huh.
What?
We were joking around. This is the science division,
Oh,
and that's apparently red shirt.
Okay, so Ernst is going to go,
Yeah.
and Johan? Is that your name?
Mine? Yeah. Bruno.
Who's that?
Well, you kept calling me Bruno earlier.
I,
So that's what,
I have the guys labeled by their last name.
now that it's stuck in my fucking head.
Hey, I just realized the ticking stopped.
I don't know.
I know. I heard about it.
Yeah.
No one said to turn on their motion sensors, so really.
That's right. Things could have been sneaking up on you the whole time.
We have the other captain just following behind us.
He's dun, 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 dun.
You hear the motion sensor go off, but it's not your motion sensor.
That would actually be kind of terrifying.
Okay, so you guys pilot the ship nearby. It's only 50 yards or so across the void. And you're going to leap across?
No, I'm sure we have maneuvering packs, right?
No. There's EVA suits with magnetic boots. And there's cables you can attach.
Okay. We'll cable you guys up.
Yeah.
What days?
Yeah, you got when you guys get close to the southern section or the lower section of the ship where the engine is. The engines themselves are cold.
Right.
Okay, they've been off for quite some time. They're definitely cooled down. There is a airlock that's in the engineering section that would be used for EVA activity along these lines for ship repairs and so forth. As you guys approach, you see red blinking lights, and the outer airlock is wide open.
Well, that answers that
Somebody
question.
left
Okay.
the door open.
Come on, John.
Okay,
God.
so
All right, then I'll. Since we don't have maneuvering jets, are there like magnetic cables we can throw across to?
Don't you know
Sure.
how physics work? And like you just jump and you get right there.
It's actually remarkably harder than,
Yes,
than
but
that.
it's a
But
When you miss, you go forever.
That's why
well,
we have a core.
that and you tend to hit the opposite wall really hard.
But you're a professional. You should
But
be
your corpse will be magnetized to the.
That's right.
I always remember Star Trek Nemesis in moments like this, where Data jumps from the one ship to the other, and super duper android Data barely made it. And he was like, "Oh shit!" as he's bouncing.
That was
off
also
the
quite a
wall.
bit further, but
Still.
yeah. So
Super
okay,
duper android.
give me a zero gravity check with advantage.
I'm gonna tether us together so that
You both fail.
no or succeed.
So if it's 50 yards, does the cables we have, are they long enough to stretch from
Yeah.
our ship?
They don't stretch. They're metal cables.
Right, but
But yeah, you have enough distance to get that far.
Okay.
Not a problem.
I succeeded by hard, if not.
Yeah,
Okay.
Senator.
Okay, you guys leap over, and it really is just as easy as that. You just sort of walk out and just keep going.
That's good.
We land with perfect grace.
Yeah.
We moonwalk.
You land on the other side.
Oh, guard the pawns.
And
Yeah, someday.
get to the airlock. The interior lock is open as well.
Okay.
The whole thing is currently decompressed.
Is there any damage to the airlock as we? No.
Nope, doesn't appear to be. Now your motion tracker does not work here since there's no atmosphere.
Fair enough. We have lights though on our suits.
You
and
do.
stuff.
That's what the green light indicates.
Would the hatch usually have an automated system to close?
Yes, when the ship's powered up and everything, the normal safety mechanisms would prevent both doors from being open to prevent the ship from being decompressed.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll,
In a safety mode, they will seal and not be able to be opened if there's no power.
Yeah, it's like I have a feeling the door's going to close behind us.
that would be
Okay.
very.
Now, both doors are effectively wide open, and the way that works is when they have power, you can disengage the magnetic, or you can magnetize the latches so that they unlock. When there's no power, they shut down. They can't be unlocked. Okay.
Every system like that has a mechanical failsafe.
Yes, but these doors would be the opposite. The mechanical failsafe would try to be closing it than otherwise.
You could no, you would have a mechanical failsafe for opening it as well. Absolutely, because of damage to the systems, electrical systems, or whatever. You would have to have a way in here if the power went out.
You're making the assumption the company cares. If you haven't gotten the hint yet, they don't.
I'm not even talking about from a health and safety standpoint. I'm talking about from an engineering standpoint of if you want to try to save your very, very, very expensive ship, you're going to
Sure.
have to have mechanical backups for everything.
Yeah, they have an AI and they have manual overrides and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But the whole point, but the whole point is mechanically, you're not going to be able to open both doors at the same time. You can open up one door manually, and then you could close it and open up the other one. There'd be a mechanism for that because in the scenario you're talking about, disaster where you have to get into that engine room where the ship's going to blow up, you don't want to decompress the ship because that'll suffer catastrophic damage as well.
So could we close the hatch and then go back through the ship and open that door?
Okay, we need to clarify. The ship is powered down.
Yeah.
Can we take the manual override and open the doors if the ship is powered off? Like, the security measures, are they neutralized if the ship has no power? Like, if they're mag-locked, no more magnetic lock if you don't have power. So can you wrench the door open with the manual override? Like from earlier, he was trying to get into the engineering section with his credentials,
Right.
or through the normal touchpad or whatever,
Right.
and it wasn't doing it because we didn't have power.
Correct.
Now
You
we're
you
on
could
the other side of that door.
most of these doors you've been opening manually. You spin the wheel and then you pull it open.
Okay.
Okay.
And I
Now,
get exterior locks would be a little different, but
right. Exterior locks are going to be far more robust about that.
Right.
You could close one of these doors and then spin the wheel on the other one. The question is, can you open the door to a section that's a vacuum? You'd have to repressurize the room in some form. There's no way any of you would be able to open a door to a room with a vacuum.
okay.
Plasma gun.
You could do that.
Science.
Maybe. I don't think the plasma gun would do any real damage to it.
But it's not a laser gun. It shoots a blast of plasma.
I understand that. Fucking physical.
Hot
It-
plasma.
well,
Because
it-
the physical shielding of a ship like this would be so fucking robust on the exterior.
on the exterior, absolutely. But you're talking, but if you're talking about the internal portholes,
Yeah.
those are going to be strong for a vacuum, but they also have a little viewport in them. You blast that with a plasma thing, or any of the engineering tools that you have.
Yeah.
I mean, you can certainly get something to get in.
But if the exterior is closed, we go back inside.
Then you might be able to open the door.
Either open the door because it hasn't been or the compression hasn't come back, or plasma through. Yeah.
You could cut through the door at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you could leave the airlock open and cut through anyways, but then you decompress another section.
I thought the whole. I'm confused. I thought the whole ship was decompressed.
No. The ship just has
We've
no
just
gravity.
been in our suits this
You've
whole
been
time.
in the suits the whole time.
Because there's
no
no
life
oxygen.
support.
All the support systems are off.
Okay, then let's close the door behind us. We'll convey the plan, and we're gonna shut the door. And then why don't you guys meet us on the other side of the entrance?
Back inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna shut the door with you inside?
I was thinking we were gonna go back around through the ship and cut our way into the room.
That's
Yeah.
what I thought too.
Because here's the thing. If you're in there and we do that, you're going to get this flash rush of compression
Yeah.
as it
We're in our
rebuilds.
suits,
You are.
and it wouldn't be that flash, would it?
It depends how they open the door, I guess.
I mean, and you're going to be on the other side if we're shooting plasma rifles at it.
I mean, with some decent tools and an engineer, you could cut through the door relatively easily.
It's easier
Here's
just for
my
you to
point.
shut those doors and those.
I don't even think we should be fucking with this. It's we're taking a bunch of unnecessary risks to open up a door to a room we currently have access to. Right? For
See if
what
you-
goal?
See if you can find Holtz's body, I guess.
Well,
we can do that.
You
We
get
can-
the power on.
But we can't get the power on unless you plan on jury rigging this.
No, I can get the power on either through the captain thing or going to the generator to
You
turn
can
the power
start
on.
the engine.
Oh, I didn't understand that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the whole reason why I came down here.
It doesn't
originally.
remove the lockdown.
It doesn't remove the lockdown,
But it still
will get
powers up the
yeah,
ship.
it powers up the ship.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Do we don't have to have the room pressurized for that, do we?
I guess it depends on how long it takes.
Well, why don't you go look first before we make a decision?
Maybe Holtz's body's back there too.
Okay.
Find a key code.
Yeah, let's start
Hanging
looking.
out
Me
there.
and him will start looking.
Okay.
at the bodies.
So you guys head further in. There is.
That was the whole thing I was trying to avoid. We close the hatch, we go through the place and cut open the door so we can just get in there much more easier instead of moonwalking our way there all the time.
You're damaging company property unnecessarily so when you do that.
It's not our company.
Yes, but you're under a contract.
Right.
Keep in mind, and keep in mind that contract doesn't hold you accountable. It holds your family's family accountable. 2 or 3 generations of your family back on Earth.
Suddenly they just get a bill in the mail for an airlock.
Oh no.
Well,
their
no.
Food just disappeared.
Yeah, all of a sudden their income is gone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the whole contract. You went on this mission to secure the livelihood of your family's family. Okay, so yeah, you could certainly do whatever you want, but again, Angel is recording everything, and if you break your contract, you forfeit any of the funds that they give you, and your family is now on the hook for it all. You might be dead or lost in space, but
Before we make any decisions, let's examine this area.
Yeah, you don't even have to close the hatch.
Yeah,
Like,
don't
the
even
second
close the
you get
hatch.
it, you can just go in and
So
see
you're
if
gonna-
you can start the engine. If you
so you're
can.
gonna close the hatch?
I'm I'm saying something's going to happen, and then the hatch is going to close on us.
He's
And
concerned.
And then we just cut our way through the hatch. In the interior hatch.
You don't have the
That's
tools.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't have any of the tools
Are there other engineers?
on the
Not
on the
with
big
me.
boat.
You got your plasma rod?
Then we start shooting the warp core.
If you're gonna cut it if it closes, you might as well cut it before it closes.
You don't understand. I'm saying we search before we fuck with anything. Unless you
Yes.
just think it's a trap.
Better to be safe instead of something malfunctioning because we open a wrong door or something.
I'm not talking about opening up anything. Let's look through the room first.
You guys look into the interior room from the airlock. Okay.
That's all we've done so
All this is a staging area. There's several spacesuits
Mhm.
there, and 2 doorways that lead into where power lifters are stored. Okay. There's a hatch in the floor and a hatch in the roof.
Right.
The roof heads back up to the other sections. The one in the bottom leads down to the core.
Does the spacesuits have oxygen tanks?
You'd have to go in and look
Okay, let's go in.
if there's some concern about that.
Are the loaders loaded with, they're capable of being used in the spacesuits, correct?
Yes, you can use the power lifters while wearing a spacesuit. Most of the environments you generally have to. However, checking those bays, both of them appear to be empty.
So they took the loaders down to the surface with them. I'll relay this back to those guys.
Okay. Yeah, I'm assuming with your communication, I mean,
Yeah.
the 2 of you were talking on the radio anyways. They're overhearing everything.
So they took the loaders down with them.
Yes, the spacesuits have air tanks. They look like they're ready. There's there's probably 4 of them here. It looks like maybe a dozen are missing.
So they took a lot of oxygen with them.
How much crew do we have on our ship?
16.
And we found 4 bodies, so
8. No, that's
No.
12.
Yeah.
Assuming the numbers are the exact same, that's 12.
yeah, assuming they're the exact same. If we don't find any bodies, we can assume that they're at the planet, maybe.
So there is a mechanical bypass for the door. Let's use the mechanical bypass to close the outer airlock door from the outside.
You keep having him worried. He does not want to be trapped in there.
I can appreciate that. My goal is safety for the crew. So
Okay, so you're gonna go back outside.
I'm positing a theory.
Okay.
I'm working through it. I'm
Okay.
doing my process.
Right, go for it.
We close it from the outside. Go inside and see if we can manually open it at that point. But I don't understand the mechanics of this moment because how does an interior door know that the exterior door is open or closed if the systems are offline?
It's a mechanical side, not a. So it can just pressure sensors could just be a. I mean, they have emergency things when power's off. And
Right.
All sorts of
The mag lock is a reverse on these things. The magnet unlocks it, not locks it. So if you have no power, the bar is down.
Right, but there
Okay.
has to be a mechanical bypass to that process, correct?
Not what.
I would
Could-
never engineer a system like that, and nobody would, that wouldn't have some type of mechanical bypass, unless you're. I could see a reason for not having mechanical bypass, but not on a system like this. Not on a life-saving system. You would have to have a mechanical bypass. That's all I'm saying.
For the interior door, I fully agree. For the exterior door that goes out to space, there a way to force it open. I mean, sure, there probably is a way. The question is whether or not you can do so based on the current settings and so forth that it has.
But the logic you guys are using, though, that would mean that the exterior airlock door would be closed currently. Per the rules that you're saying. If there is the internal logic here is that
No. What I'm saying is if the exterior door was closed and the interior got depressurized, it would lock down and not be able to be opened. Okay.
The interior door, sure.
Yes.
So
Okay.
the exterior door was open when the interior decompressed. The interior door slammed shut, potentially.
Well, that would require power to move the door.
Why is this fucking door open?
Mystery.
Suicide.
I'm gonna go back and examine the door
Okay.
and the hatch mechanisms and everything around it.
Okay.
See if there's bloody handprints, scratches, dents, anything like that.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Now, maybe I'm just
What-
being an honest
what if-
about this, but it makes no sense to me why this door is open.
What if the door was open and then the power turned off then?
Double set.
What?
But by the internal logic of the moment, by what these two are arguing, that door would have shut immediately with the power. With the power off, the door would have shut
No.
because it was being mechanically held open with power.
No. You're confusing what I'm trying to describe. There is a mechanism that opens and closes the door
Right.
that assists it. Better said. Okay, and that's motorized, etc., such that the crew or the computer can open and close the door.
But
Now,
that requires power.
that requires power. Now, you can manually open and close the door as well. It's just an enhancement for it because it's a big, heavy door.
To include the exterior airlock.
The exterior as well. Now, once the door is in a closed position, there's safety bars that drop into place unless you have power to pull them out of place to open them. Okay?
I'm
Now,
on board.
yes, would there be a manual override? Yes, because typically in Hollywood you pull out some fancy wrench and you got to reach way back in and do some crazy things to get into the right position and then crank it for an hour to actually release it. But yeah, there would be something like that.
Hollywood, that shit is real.
I understand, but but that's the reference
I have
most
literally
of us.
worked with bomb doors that are this fucking thick.
Yeah, and there is
So-
a manual override for it. But the other difference here is that's from areas that at least publicly care about the people, where this company, as I've tried to imply, doesn't care one bit for you.
I get
Okay,
it.
they're going to have some safety
Engineering
mechanism.
101 would have safety mechanisms.
They will have some mechanism around it, yes, but it's not going to be an easy one. Okay.
So,
Anyways,
so
yeah,
conceivably, if this door was open before power was turned off, it would still be open, correct?
sure. If it was open when the power was off, or when the power went off, it would stay open unless somebody manually closed it. As soon as you close it, it'll snap shut and then gets locked. The question would be, if the power was open, how did both doors get open? Because that specifically would go against any safety protocols.
Now, this is an airlock and not a dock.
This is an airlock.
So somebody, after the power was out, climbed in this way?
Maybe.
That would make sense.
That would make sense.
No power, open the airlock.
Yeah, that's
same
what I'm
as you
saying.
guys
I
just
go
did,
look to see
so-
if there's any marks on any of the manual release or anything like that, the wheels, whatever mechanism.
No marks or indications on it at all. Undamaged, no signs of blood or anything like that.
So we have no type of drone mechanism to put it in there.
A drone mechanism? No.
Or, okay, so like no type of rover or anything like
No.
that.
Bark, bark. Throw puppies.
You
They're
do
supposed to go to space.
you
on
do
this
it.
ship
You do have two
and
spare.
have no real technical supplies outside of a plasma.
You have two spare engineers.
It's like, I would think you would have
Work
a
within the
rover.
parameters of the story. There's some
I know.
limitations.
I know, but I'm like for him. I'm like, why don't we have drones for this shit?
Because it's a business.
It's a business.
That's the difference.
Drones
If
are
it was an
expensive. People are
unlimited
not.
amount of money for, say, NASA, like they dump money into the stupidest things.
Right.
And absolutely. But
This is a business.
This company, listen, we're lucky the doors have auto locks.
Remember
I mean,
the
really.
remember the contract. You could say I don't agree.
They would have just shut your life support off.
Yeah.
Would've been all right.
So drones are expensive. People are not.
Onward, fleshy ones.
I think you just called me fat.
Just fleshy.
That's why he's the captain.
That's right. He's allowed to.
He's not real.
I am the drone.
He's the drone.
He's taking this all
Yep.
too mellow and stuff.
See,
He's just like, go forward.
everybody has a separate background. One of them
Yes.
might say, "You are the robot."
Yeah. Was there any markings on the entrance on the exterior airlock?
Just the normal one. There's no sign of damage or scratches or anything like that.
All right.
If that's what you're asking.
I think I'm on your page. I think you've actually convinced me. I think we need to try to shut this exterior door from the outside. From the outside.
While you're inside or while you're out.
Well, I just literally said from the outside. You mean from the inside?
Get sure.
Because of space, you got confused and locked yourself in there.
Yeah. Try to shut it from the exterior and then just
Go back around.
get through the door on the other side.
Okay. So you guys go back outside.
Everything is pointing we have to go down to that stupid crash site, and I just think it's a terrible
One step
idea.
at a time.
I understand. Let's do it.
Into space. Okay.
What's all the effort to come over here to look through a door and go nope and go back?
Well,
No,
yeah,
we
but
closed the
close
door.
In the hatch.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
Hey, we have to close the
We
door.
noped out at the first sign
Yeah.
of risk.
Welcome to Cthulhu.
It's annoying.
Doesn't get a good push every other Sunday because we go running right.
That's right. You guys are being cautious this time. Okay, so you guys step back out into space.
Well, we closed the door.
Yeah, you swing the door. You're swinging the exterior door closed.
Are you swinging
Is what
both
you're.
doors? The interior and the exterior?
Now I am confused.
'Cause
There is a hatch and a
Yes.
door.
So here's how it
There's
goes.
two.
We all know.
Yeah, because you got to be able to.
I
There-
thought there was just
No,
a hatch. and
there's
a
one
door in the
here.
room.
If you're looking at the map, there's one here, and there's one on the exterior of the spaceship. The one on the exterior of the spaceship is the big one. That's the heavy-duty one. The one on the inside, normally what would happen is if you're in a spacesuit and you're going to go out into space, you'd step into the small closet, you close the interior door, you decompress the room you're in, and then you open the outer door. Otherwise, if all you do is open the outer door, you decompress quickly and go flying off into space. That's bad. Okay? The safety mechanism is to have both doors closed or always one closed. Okay? Somehow both doors are wide open, which is why these levels have decompressed.
Can we shut the interior door?
Sure.
I'm going to shut the interior door from the exterior side.
Okay.
So
The
from
inter-
inside the airlock, I'm going to shut the interior door.
Okay. You close it. As it closes, you hear a chunk as the safety locks engage.
Okay,
That's
that's what I wanted to check. It's like whether or not the safety locks.
Better said you feel it because you can't hear anything in space.
Right, that's fine. So now we don't need to worry about the exterior door. We go back in and we try to get through the interior doors. Maybe mechanically they'll have unlocked now.
Are you guys done yet?
The engineer can't make up his mind on what he wants to do.
Okay.
Close the doors and come back.
So you're,
Close back.